This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome, everybody, to the X&C Podcast. Yeah, the thumbs up. What a great show Mag and I have for you. We were talking behind the scenes. That's why we're just a little bit delayed coming on to start the show. We're excited to have you here. It's been a crazy week of gaming news. And I was talking to Mag. I have a new addition to the back wall here. I just got in the mail this morning the Xbox Series X chipboard, the motherboard, or whatever you call it. Nice. And so what's interesting here is I've got the Xbox Scorpio board, and I put this up because this channel has really taken off because of the hardware thing. Then the Xbox Scorpio, the Xbox One X board here, it jogs out here. I'll try to do this in reverse. It has this jog out here for maybe the power supply or something. And so I offset and put the Xbox Series X board because both of those pieces of hardware mean a lot to me. They're my favorite consoles, and I need to get a 360 up there. But they've been part of the growth of the channel. The reason why you guys are here, we appreciate it. And I was telling Mag that it came with thermal paste on it and a bunch of other stuff that I was trying to clean off. And there's these little tiny transistors in the chip. Actually, I should have brought this. I have two of them. I could have brought the second one up in front of the screen. But there's these tiny transistors the size of ticks that are little claws made out of bronze or copper or whatever, and they're really hard to clean. And it just made Meg and I were talking about how unbelievably amazing that a little chip that's this big can power so many games in such an incredible way. It is such an incredible piece of kit, man.
Yeah, it's wild to me. It just blows my mind. When you see a motherboard or a chipboard, you see all that stuff, and I'm like, how did someone figure this out? You know what I mean? How did someone look at that and say, I'm going to make a video game character walk across the screen and be able to process all of this software through this little thing here. It just completely blows my mind that it's awesome though. It's totally awesome that we have human beings out there that are so advanced up here that they could just look at something and be like, yes, I can turn this into a processor. I could turn this into this. Yes, I can utilize this to create an engine for that or whatever, right? Making cars move and all this stuff. It's totally amazing, man. And it totally blows my mind. So when you're showing me that, I'm just sitting there going, how? But it's so cool, man. It's so cool to see people that are just so incredibly intelligent, just being able to figure all that out. People could say that about anything. They could see your job and be like, how the heck do you do that, Colt? Or what I do. And they're like, how the heck do you do that, Meg? And I'm like, well, it's easy. But for them, it might be easier and whatever, but it's still fascinating to me as a non-tech guy. It's just so fascinating to see the inner workings of how hardware works and stuff like that. It's totally cool. And by the way, just on a side note, Jason Ronald was hands down the coolest dude at the
Yes.
At the Xbox Fan Fest. Yeah, I love
so
him.
nice.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. And man, like the dude hung out with he wasn't getting whisked away by security. You know what I mean? And he wasn't like looking over our shoulders going, "Oh, who else am I going to meet here? Oh, here comes, here comes whoever. I'll go say hi to him." And okay, bye. And he was there. He was in the pocket and he was talking to you and he was You know what I mean? Like, he was totally cool, man. I like him.
Yeah, he is really cool. Sometimes I feel like I've learned so much about gaming over all these years where I've been covering it. But I saw an Instagram reel the other day about Super Mario Brothers, the original one on the NES. And I've learned a lot about how that game was made, but what I didn't know was the far right of the screen. I didn't remember this, but you can only go forward. You can never backtrack. Once you've moved a pixel forward in Super Mario Brothers, the screen never goes back. So you can't go back and grab the original mushroom if you didn't get it. And it was something I forgot. So they build these worlds, this platforming world of Super Mario Brothers, a stack of pixels at a time on the edge of the screen, the direction you're going. So they lay out, it's crazy. They lay out what the map's gonna be look like. And then as you move forward, it is drawing it pixel by pixel in a vertical line as you come up forward. I mean, obviously it seems it would work that way. We think of everything like being rendered, like all the pixels blasting on the screen, but like they were able to fit everything in like 35 kilobytes on a little chip. But yeah, if you really wanted to hear a lot about hardware, I put out a video today about why the PS6 will lose some of its customers for the Xbox Helix and kind of comparing the two when it comes to power and price. So I appreciate your support. I know you've made a ton of content. There's been a lot going on, and we're going to talk about the 25th anniversary today and some of the events coming up and some of the news that's dropped. And so anyway, let's start and talk about what you've been playing, because I've been playing the same thing. We both on vacation too. Yeah, give us a travel log.
Yeah, I know. So I know I didn't do one. No, this one was actually, it was just a very short one. It was like 3 days up, 3.5 days up north at my brother-in-law's cottage. So, but all my neighbors came and brought their kids. So it was like a whole thing. So there's like 11 of us up there, and it was very busy, man. And it was just like, a lot of entertaining, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of partying, a lot of boating, all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. But during that time, I did not do a video. I did the last video I did drop, like as a video is when I did, as we discussed at the end of XNC last week. Remember that? Remember that, folks? When we were talking about the big games coming out from August all the way to November. And then you're like, hey, you should make a video about that. And I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I spent the rest of that night and into the next day making that video before I left. And
it's so much work, man. It was awesome.
It was a lot of work.
I love it.
Because I had to get the clips from, I don't know, 17 or 18 different video games and get footage of like 17 or 18 games and then try to organize all that, plus with the audio recordings I did, plus my stupid face on camera, and then of course editing it all and putting music and everything else to it. It was a pretty big video. So yeah, that was the last video I did.
Hold on.
Of course.
I want to give you props because of course I knew the video would be great, and I knew that you making that video would help me get honed in on what's coming, but your video actually turned me around on 2 or 3 games that I wasn't interested in after I listened to you talk about them and then show them. Like, I love that format. Anyway, I wanted to thank you for listening to me and making that video, because selfishly, I got really great content to watch out of that and games to be excited about.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I enjoyed making it. So and then I did that, and then I did a makeup madcast on Friday because I was away all week. And then on the weekend, and I finally came out on the weekend, I started dabbling back into. I'm like, let me just play, and you know how the trap goes, folks. Here's the thing. When Ubisoft has a game, and you're like, let me just stick my toe in here for just a few hours. Well, that few hours was the rest of the weekend, and it just enveloped me again. I'm like, you know what? I haven't played Black Flag in about a week or so, about a week and a half or whatever, because I got into Halo. I did Halo for a couple of days, and I was playing Halo. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me go dip my toes back into Black Flag here. And all of a sudden, it was literally the rest of the weekend, and I just couldn't stop playing it, like all Saturday night, Sunday. I wasn't going out this weekend. It was a long weekend here in Canada, and I didn't do anything because I was already partying all in the middle of the week. I needed some time to relax. And so I was just like, all right, let me do this. And so I did that, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. I just spent the last 2.5 days playing Black Flag and just running around as what to do with a drunken sailor, what to do with a drunken sailor, and that's it. And then I 100%ed the map, but I haven't finished the damn story. So like I'm like, there's nothing, and I was like, and then, what the hell's his name? Alexander. It's like, and Alexander wept because there were no more lands to conquer. And I'm looking at the map. I'm like, there's nothing else to do. And I'm like, oh, right, the story. I forgot the story. So that's going to unlock some more stuff. So I 100% of the map, got a bunch of trophies on it, whatever. My wife is doing the same. She's working on the platinum because we game share, right? So she's working on the platinum for that, and I'm working on it. And then I'm like, oh, right, the story. So now tomorrow I'm going to continue the story, and that should pretty much get me to the end. And then that's it. And then I'll be able to just do some cleanup trophies, and I'm done. And then that's it for that. And then back to Halo. So I'm jumping back from the PS5 for that, and then I'm going to go back to Xbox for Halo, which I'm on Xbox right now. I'm downloading the beta for Gears of War E-Day.
I'm on Xbox right now. I'm not even really doing the show.
Oh, I'm not like playing. I just have the screen open here.
That's other podcasts.
I'm just downloading.
We're
downloading
here for you.
The beta.
That's other podcasts that sit and play during the game, but we're here for you guys.
Yeah, no, we're here for you guys. No, I have it just downloading in the background here. So I'm doing that. It's 63.8 gigs.
Oh, geez.
What?
Hey, it's a Broke Boy's 54th birthday today. He leveled up today.
It is.
Yeah. Wow.
It is.
54.
It is. He messaged me this morning, and it was said that we were talking about other stuff. And then he says, "Oh, it's my 54th birthday." And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "We'll be shouting you out on the show tonight." I said, "Just remind me." Well, he sent a super chat to remind us. So there it is. That's the best reminder of all. Happy birthday, Broke Boy. You're an amazing human being. Love you, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, 54 is great. I'm liking the 50s, Mag. I put together last week. We talked about men's mental health, and I put together this little short. It was an 8-minute segment where you and I were talking about midlife crisis and taking care of ourselves, diet and exercise, and then your anxiety and self-esteem and stuff. We were all kind of bouncing that together, and I cut it into this 2-minute reel on TikTok, and it didn't get a lot of traction. But I forgot to tell my wife this. Her dad came up to me yesterday and was like, "Hey, I saw a clip on the internet of you and some guy talking." I'm like, my co-host. And because not a lot of people that age, like my parents and my in-laws, don't watch like a lot of the stuff, because they'd be like, huh? But anyway, he said, "Yeah, I saw you guys talking about men's mental health and taking care of yourselves and diet and everything." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yeah, that was really, really cool to hear you guys talk about that." I said, "Yeah, some guy messaged in and said he was going through a midlife crisis, and we just kind of it was good to have that little moment of talk." But that's probably I think it only got like 150 or 200 views on TikTok, which isn't much. I was kind of hoping that would reach out to people just, because I thought it was a good discussion, but it reached out to my father-in-law, which I thought was amazing. So
that's hilarious. Yeah, it's wild.
Appreciate you guys. Meg and I really super appreciate you guys for reaching out and letting us know things like that, talking about how old you are and being good with, or maybe not even good with it, but yeah, we covered the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people who are great with it, and then there's some people who are not, and then there's just, and then that's what we're here for, I mean, outside of video games or whatever else, and that's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, man, don't be shy. You could DM me anytime you want to talk about that. Show up at my show. We talk about it publicly if you want to. Like, it's not a problem. So we have these conversations, you know what I mean? But speaking of which, we have to make an acknowledgement because people are mentioning it in the chat. But we did lose a community member that last week. And we haven't been on the show since. And shout out and rest in peace to Psychonauts out there. I know you've seen him in the XNC chat, and I know we've seen him on a lot of other shows. I mean, I did shows with him, several shows with him. I've been off and on in contact with him for the last 6 years, and unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 46. So. Yeah, that was pretty tragic for him and his family, and it was shout out to him. And like I said, he was a real one out in that community, in the gaming community, man. He was a pretty awesome dude. So it really sucked to see that, and unfortunate.
Really close to Mav Fun Speculation, a good friend of ours, and I've been seeing Psychonauts 8 in the chat for 8-9 years, and I'm like, what? We've had a couple of these in the community, so everybody, what was it? Gene Park said today, I can't remember how old he said he is. I think he said he's 64, but he's been fighting cancer off and on, and he just has this picture of him walking in New York with his eyes closed, took the selfie of himself and said, so great. It was like such a blessing to grow old or something, to be growing older, because here we are again on this topic, but I'm like, I don't want to be old. What was it?
Yeah. He's only 45.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's 45.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's still, he's still here.
Talking about being older then? That didn't make any sense because,
he's 45 today, but I mean, having cancer, ravages the body and makes him, I mean, it looked way older than when I saw the picture. I was like, oh, geez. And then I was like 45. And I'm like, oh, right. Okay. But I mean, he was, he faced a life-threatening illness that doesn't really help the
multiple
situation.
Times.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, multiple times. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it really takes its toll on you, right? So yeah, it's
and he said, he's grateful to be growing old, which is something we need to remember. But we are here for you guys. We appreciate you, and if we see you in a video game, we'll play games with you, and we won't go easy on you. We'll still have a good time.
No, and back to that, by the way, I realize no one's going to go easy on me this week. So this Thursday is the closed beta. I know someone in the chat asked if it was an open beta. It is not an open beta. You have to have it pre-ordered digitally if you want it. I believe. I'm not sure if it's actually digital, but I know for sure you have to pre-order the game for Gears of War, and you get access to this beta. The public beta is the week after. So if you have the game pre-ordered or whatever, or you upgrade to that early edition, you can get that, and then you're able to play Gears of War E-Day this Thursday. You'll be able to do multiplayer, some modes in multiplayer, and the Horde mode, which was already out there for you and for like other influencers out there who actually got to play it. So it's open up on this Thursday. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that this Thursday. I'll be on, so anybody wants to jump in or whatever, and then we'll do all that. So
yeah, appreciate that.
So speaking of not going easy, people are gonna rip me to shreds, man. I suck at Gears of War multiplayer.
The Gears closed beta is Horde Siege only, so it'll be cooperative. You don't have to worry about the competitive stuff yet. So this first round will be Horde Siege, which is the only mode that I played last week. I had early access via Xbox, and I played maybe 6 matches, and I played half of them with Randall Thor 19. And the Horde Siege I thought was going to be bigger than it was. You have this huge map, and then you have 3 different teams that are in different areas, and you go and do objectives. One thing you're not really doing, you don't have to grab fences out and put down turrets. They're in place. You want to spend the money, but it's just straight up waves of enemies, and there's a lot of big enemies that come in. We didn't get to see any Brumax, but they're the game. The camera's really super tight. If you've seen the footage, I put up a little bit on. Yep. The camera's really close to your character's really big on screen. The roadie run's gone, so when you run, you can move with ease. When you sprint, coming in and out of cover, mantling feels great. The Retro Lancer, for some reason, it feels. The shooting did not feel as tight and surgical as 4 and 5 do. I recently played 4 last month with Danta, and I've played 5 off and on forever. But anyway, the shooting's really tight on those games. Mm-hmm. And I felt like every 2 or 3 bullets from the Lancer was like I would shoot like at my target, and every 2 or 3 bullets were flying off like this. And you can almost see it. I'm watching. I put the health bars on because I like watching the health bars drain. That's like a satisfaction thing for me. You can turn them off.
Yeah.
I think you have to turn them on, and which I did. And I was watching the health bar would have gone faster if the bullet spread wasn't so crazy. So I don't know if that's something that will be honed in later, maybe, or if that's just the feel of the original Gears E-Day. I don't know. We'll see how it is. The shotgun would just like annihilate enemies, but it felt like it was just shooting hot air. Like I didn't see projectiles. So I was wondering if there's some things that aren't in this beta. Randall Thor also told me that the Gears 5 beta graphically looked way worse than the final reveal of the game. So he said, we're probably looking at a pared down set of graphics, but I still think the game looked good. So I played enough of it and recorded maybe about, I was going to show some on here, but it's about maybe 2 minutes of footage because I didn't record that much, but yeah, a lot of people. Hopefully, you can get into it. So the closed beta is just behind a pre-order, and then you're good, right?
Yeah, I just updated it now, so like it's downloading in the background. It's 62.28 gigs is the size of the file for the beta. So that's available now. Apparently, it's available if you are a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber as well.
Oh,
so if you're an Ultimate subscriber, that's what it said. Like it's on. I have it on a third screen here, so I got the 2 screens.
Ultimate or pre-order,
and then I got a third screen. I'm reading it, so you could pre-order the premium, which I already did anyway, so that I'm able to play it early, right? So I could play the campaign 5 days early and whatever else, which obviously I'll be streaming on the channel. And then from there, hopefully, Halo, I'm looking at you. And yeah, I should be able to do that 5 days ahead of time. And then it also gave me access to this. But it also said available to Xbox Game Pass subscribers. But it didn't really specify if that was for the second week, like the open beta or the closed beta this week. I'm not really sure. And it didn't, like I said, it didn't specify. So I'm going to kind of research it as the show goes on. Once it's done downloading, I'm going to look into it and see exactly what it means. Because it was sort of, okay, so C-Note is saying, yes, it is Game Pass. Okay, so there it is.
Yeah, Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay. All right, cool. So, never mind. So that solves that. So anybody with Game Pass, go to your Xboxes or PCs now, and not now, excuse me, in the background while you're watching XNC, and then you'll be able to download it now because it's pretty hefty. Like I said, 62.28 gigs. You want it ready and already installed so that when Thursday comes around, you're ready to rock. So yeah, we'll do some.
Okay, Thursday.
You can watch me explode.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can watch me explode in 7 pieces on a regular basis with that stupid Nasher as people do that wall bouncy.
They did nerf the wall bouncing a little bit. It takes a little bit more effort to wall bounce in the new one.
Thank God.
So I'm not going to play the competitive thing, but
I like the roadie run gone. By the way, I like the sprint as opposed to like it actually feels like to me. I know that I said this on Friday on my show, and I'm like, listen, because what I did is during Madcast in the corner, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to smush down the screen and make me small and this thing. So just in the corner while I was talking, I had about 22 minutes or 23 minutes of Gears E-Day footage playing. And I'm like, check it out. So we were sort of watching it and talking about it. And I brought it up and I'm like, listen, man, I prefer this sprint business because the roadie run, yes, I understand you kind of zone in on a spot. You're like, okay, I'm going to go over there. And then when you go over there, then you roadie run, you can't do anything. You just got your head down. You're like doing that stupid run, and you can't like really
turn. Like you're turning so slow. Yeah, it's not good.
You can't do anything. You're just roadie running blindly with your head down, like Ram Man from like He-Man. You know what I mean? Or like the Juggernaut from like X-Men. Yep. And you just like a big gorilla, and then you slam into the wall. And I'm like, this is stupid because you can't do anything from the start to the end of the run. And I'm like, now. You're running with, guess what? Your head up and you're staring straight forward. So if some like enemy comes, you pick up your gun and just shoot, as opposed to like having to let go of the roadie run and go like this, doing the John Travolta, what's going on? Okay, back to the roadie run, and right. And I'm like, those are the quality of life improvements that and I said it on Friday, and I know I upset some people, but I'm like, listen, these are the quality of life improvements that I don't care about what Halo purists like, and I don't give a F what the Gears purists like. You're modernizing the game for a better, more fluid experience. I don't care. If you want the old style, go play the old style. There's a game for you. It's called Master Chief Collection, and then there's Gears 1, 2, 3, Judgment, and Gears 4 and 5. Go play those and Hidebusters. You can get that experience. But now I think, to me, that's a quality of life improvement. Like, especially the stand-up sprint. That should just have been standard so you can see what's going on in front of you. So if there's a threat, pull your gun up and your Lancer and just shoot, as opposed to you're running blindly. I don't know, man.
I love how the Halo purists were complaining about Halo Campaign Evolved having aim down sights and sprint when you don't have to do anything.
Like games from the last 20 years?
If you don't want to sprint, you don't want to aim, stop pushing the buttons, because you can play Halo Campaign Evolved
that's true.
without a skull, without changing any of the buttons. Stop pulling the left trigger, stop pushing in on the left stick, and you won't sprint or aim down sights. Like, it just drives me crazy.
How could you live life like that? That's like playing Call of Duty without sprinting. Like, how could you do that? You're just lumbering around like a...
Sprinting made it better.
You know what I mean? Like a clown on stilts. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you need to sprint.
I just want to say really quickly, I would still give Halo Campaign Evolved an 85. I would give the original back in 2001, I'd give it an 85. That's how it feels to me. The nitpicking for Halo has been ridiculous. The stupid stuff with the extra bonus missions, some of the choices were dumb, and the lessons need to be learned.
A lot of big YouTubers were shredding it, dude. I saw like even Asmon Gold got in on it, and that's
everyone
like
did.
When that guy gets it. Yeah, there was a lot of big YouTubers, but it wasn't about the game. It wasn't about the mechanics. It was about like the like the woke, anti-woke stuff or whatever. They got into that stuff. And but like the big guys. So like I'm scrolling through like my timeline and I see Asmongold say something. I'm like, what the hell's Asmongold talking about? Because he's talking. I'm like, he usually doesn't talk about Halo. I'm like, that doesn't seem like to be his wheelhouse. I'm like, all right, let's see what he's talking about. And then I looked at it and then I watched his video and I was like, oh. And then you look at the like his metrics and I'm like, I mean, because when Asmongold puts out a video, millions watch it. You know what I mean? So it's like, holy. And then once I played that one video, you know how the algorithm goes. The next thing you know, another video pops up, then another one pops up, then and it was all about the woke stuff or anti-woke stuff.
Then there's a Colteastwood video.
I'm like,
do you hate games? Do you hate yourself?
But it's just, yeah, it was wild. And I'm just looking at the views, and I'm like, my God, those are massive views on that stuff. And I'm like,
it's all performative.
But the funny thing is, no one talked about the game. Because like when I played the game, I had my own grievances, and my grievances is that 2 out of the 5 early access days I was not able to play.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got my refund. Yeah. So that was a different story. That was a different grievance. It was not about the game itself. The game itself plays magically. I mean, I did a 3-hour stream on the channel with the community members playing, with maggots playing with me, and we had a blast. And I'm like, dude, this plays awesome. Like it really feels like a polished Call of Duty sort of vibe. Like fast, quick, you know what I mean? You know, snappy. The weapons were great. The sound was good. Obviously, the music is awesome. And whatever, right? And I'm like, this is awesome. So, like, the gameplay itself was fantastic. But all those big videos from all those big YouTubers was not about the game or the mechanics. It was about all the, whatever, the political stuff. But I didn't get into any of that. But anyways, yeah, improving, get back to Gears. I'm glad that they changed that because that adds a more, you know, modern take on the situation, because you got to remember the first Gears came out 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, you know, you gotta up it. You gotta up it once in a while. You gotta, like, you know, tweak it and make better performance out of it. And you know what I mean? And just change some of those quality of life features, which they did. And I'm excited. I'm ready to play it. I'm still going to get like absolutely massacred in the multiplayer because they're just people who just eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. But like, I'll still try and have fun with horde mode.
I won't even go in there. Mag, do you know what I've got in here?
What do you have in there, buddy? Colteastwood's in there? It's his ashes, folks. Did you see that? It's an urn. It's an Xbox urn, Colteastwood's ashes. We are now looking at his AI doppelganger, folks. I knew there was something off.
This is the infamous, please wait for 3 hours to get your laser printed Xbox drink thermos.
You know someone has mine, right?
You still don't have,
shout out.
Someone took the
no. I have the I have the bottle. I have the water bottle, but it just says Xbox on it. But the one that says the Mag Show on it, somebody out in the world has the Mag Show on their water bottle because the guys made it, put it on the table, and some smooth brain walked up where it said under the letter M and grabbed mine and walked away with it. So I sat there for hours waiting for, and so I'm like, dude, where's my water bottle?
This is from FanFest, by the way, we're talking about.
This is from Xbox FanFest, yeah. So, yeah, so anyways, someone took mine. So the guy's like, here, just take a blank one or whatever. So I'm like, that's fine. Give me the blank one. I don't need my name on it. So I have a blank one. Well, it still says Xbox on it, but it doesn't have my name. But someone out there in the world has the Mag Show. I'm going to find you at the next FanFest, wherever you are. I'm going to find out. That's going to be my life mission, is to find out who has it. I bet you it's P-Lump, that scumbag. I know he's out there laughing right now. I know he's out there laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, P-Lump took it.
Yeah, it was funny.
Probably just like laughing at that. He's like,
they had like 2 or 3 of these laser smithing or whatever machines that would, you put your name in the computer and then they would print it on the bottle.
Yeah.
And like 2 of the machines like went haywire like in the morning. And it's like the whole day they're like, come back in 15 minutes, we'll have your bottle ready. And it basically went until 5 o'clock when the whole event was over. People were finally getting their bottles. Like some guy was over there. Some guy got like a Keebler Elf out there, and he's like, you know, putting these laser smiths on. But anyway, I've got some 4XP in here that I'm going to be drinking.
Do
today.
You now?
Yeah, we've got the incredible sponsor that sponsors our show. They're doing a couple sponsors a month, but 4XP is sponsoring the wonderful Ultra Nightmare watermelon flavored energy drink.
Correct.
And 4XP is awesome because it's a powder. You mix it with your water. It tastes kind of like Kool-Aid, but it's not super sugary. It's got half the caffeine and sugar of a soda, like a Mountain Dew. So it's perfect for chilling and gaming. Mag, you love 4XP. Tell them
I do
what the deal is. And
Listen,
All
ladies
about
and
the
gentlemen,
love.
you could still get free shipping for the rest of the summer with 4XP. And there's one thing that 4XP will not do is mess up your order like the Xbox water bottles where someone's going to steal your 4XP. It's not going to happen, folks. So you don't have to worry about that. When 4XP gets your order, they're going to send it to your house. They even give you like a little love letter and say, hey, thank you for buying 4XP and thank you for supporting us. They are amazing human beings. They have hands down the best customer relations I have ever seen. I have actually had people reach out to me, like I said before, and I'm not making this up. I'm being dead serious. People have DM'd me going, dude, my order was late by like 2 days, and they got a hold of me and sent me like a personalized letter saying, hey, sorry about that. We had a small mix up or whatever, but here it is. We gave you a little extra. Thank you for your support.
They showed up at his house and mowed his lawn.
Yeah, he showed up at his house, mowed the lawn, and he washed their cars. That's exactly what Mike did. So, incredible human being. But anyways, you want to get out there. Ultra Nightmare is the one. Watermelon. I know that there's also the white gummy. That's also fantastic, folks. You got to get out there. But do your orders now before the summer ends, because once Labor Day comes around, no longer wearing white, that you will no longer, at least for the time being, you got to take advantage of getting that free shipping, ladies and gentlemen. Get that free shipping in you and get that 4XP in you, because you're going to need it. Because when that Gears beta drops, you're going to have to be on fire. Your Nashers are going to have to be polished up and fully loaded and ready to rock. And the only way that you could do that is with 4xpgaming.com. Put that link in the chat and let's get going. There it is.
Thanks,
Donnie's already on top of it.
Hey, just salivating just thinking about it, Mag. So, I was on vacation. I went to the Oregon coast with my family. 5 people in a midsize SUV, 2 dogs on my lap. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I spent the whole afternoon cleaning the car because it smelled like people and dogs. But we're back, and it was great. It was a great, really good vacation. Had a fun time with
awesome.
our kids. So our kids
you were in Oregon, right?
Yeah, we were in Oregon.
Did you see what's his face there from Days Gone looking for his wife?
Yeah,
where's my wife?
Mr. Deacon St. John from Days Gone. Yeah.
It's been 372 days. You're like, excuse me, Deacon. The apocalypse hasn't happened, dude. She's probably at the grocery store or something.
I hated that how his wife left in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. He meets up with her, finally finds her, and she's like, I'm kind of busy right now, Deacon. I'm like,
well, she had no choice. She had no choice because she knew. She said to him, remember when she got him alone? She's like, you need to shut up. It's going to get us both killed.
Yeah.
So she was trying to like pretend she didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Which must have taken incredible fortitude to pull that off. I cried, okay? I cried, Colt.
I couldn't do that if it was you, Mag. It would be very hard to hold my emotions in for the Mag.
Did you kill any zombies while you were there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, that's cool.
Some fentanyl, some beach zombies. No, it was great. While we were gone, there a little bit of gaming news. I tried to stay off of like content creator mode or whatever, but some of the gaming news that dropped was Asha Sharma put out like this big memo that everybody was, making videos about and everything. But there was the 3 C's of Asha Sharma.
4 C's.
The 4 C's, yeah, 4 C's.
4 C's.
The 2 seashells.
Yeah. How do you use the seashells? I don't know how to use the seashells,
Yeah, that's our reference from
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I feel like a cannoli. Anyways, carry on.
I don't know. You probably dug into this a little bit. We were both gone, but the 3, we'll talk about them a little bit, but the first one was Core, strengthen our platform led by console, which is something they are actually really doing this. They just yesterday or the day before, they hiked the price of the Series X up to $800. Absolutely, completely egregious, ridiculous. I also think it's going to be the price of the Helix, but we'll get it out later in the show. So strengthening their platform means they're going to have some exclusives. We talked about Matt Booty being wishy-washy about what would or wouldn't be exclusive, but led by the console is definitely something I think they're doing. But what does that mean to you, Mag, if they say they're led by the console to strengthen the platform?
Yeah, well, I mean, that sounds like exactly what you said, that the plan is to focus on the console, I would imagine, because they're talking about the Series consoles and they're talking about the Xbox One consoles with the cloud access, and they're talking about the Helix. right? That'll be their focus. And then my understanding is that there will be, I mean, Sarah Bond talked about this like 2 years ago, but it still really hasn't happened yet. But, new management, new rules, you know how it goes. But something about strengthening their space in the PC space, their footprint in the PC space. But that doesn't seem to be what's going on here. So when you're saying strengthening our platform led by console, she's talking about 3 generations of consoles. It's not just a Helix, because the obvious fact is that most people will not be able to afford a Helix. So she's going to be focusing a lot on access through Series consoles and cloud access through Xbox One consoles, because it's not lost on these people. And even Matthew Ball talked about it when they were talking about how they're doing the Xbox Insider program right now with the ad-led cloud streaming service. You can actually access on your Xbox Ones. So for example, like when you've got like a Halo campaign evolved or Beast of Reincarnation or whatever, with the cloud access on that ad tier, at least for now, for insiders, you could still access that on an Xbox One and play next generation games through the cloud, using it as basically as a signal boost or whatever through that console. You can use it as a cloud
huge
box.
Fire stick.
Basically, it's like a big fire stick, exactly. And so when she says console, she's not specific. Helix will be like 5%. Your Series consoles will still be like the 75%, and then the 20% of the people who are still on Xbox Ones. So that is their focus. The focus is access through the consoles and whatever. And then, of course, at some point, obviously, they're going to make some kind of a move with the PC in order to bolster the Windows Store or whatever they're planning to do.
They are right now.
I have no idea about that. Oh, they are now, yes. But I figure they'll focus more on that later. I don't know. What do you got for that?
We just got the announcement last week that 4 original OG Xbox games are being put on a PC, and now Tom Warren is reporting that a bunch of 360 games. And I was talking to somebody today on the phone, like speculating what's going on. And they were saying that it's already known that like a large chunk, like a ton of the 360 back compat games that are currently on Xbox will just start coming to PC. And they said that this is an ushering in of the Xbox Helix, because the Xbox Helix will be more PC-like. So instead of giving you a back compat Xbox version, you'd actually be able to access a better up-res version of a PC version of a 360 game. So if you load up something like, I'm trying to think of if you load up Mass Effect on the Xbox 360 version, because you own that, you don't own Legacy, right? That's like sub 720p, 30 frames. And if you got it on the PC version, that would have like the, it boosts the performance of it through software and through the emulation, and you'd get this 4K version of the OG Mass Effect game. Like, this just be an automatic thing. So they are doing quite a bit to lead forward with console, even by supporting PC. It'll sort of look like they're doing things for the PC, but Xbox is going to have 2 ways of getting people into their ecosystem. And we'll talk about that later, Mag, because there's an interesting proposition that if you want to move toward PC, or you care about your games library remaining intact, the Xbox Helix might be the better console for you, way better than the Steam machine, and maybe you don't want to spend as much on a PC. So we'll get into that as well.
Right.
Let me grab the next core. Before I do that, let me grab some questions before they pile up here.
Sure. Go ahead.
I also, before I do that, wanted to mention one of the things that my middle kid wanted to play Life is Strange, because she watches a streamer that has played Life is Strange and Double Exposure. And I don't know if any of you guys are fans. I only played the demo way back in the day, but it's a huge game and it's really super impactful. And so I ended up buying all of the games because my kids would sit down on the couch in the living room and they would play it together, and they would talk over the choices you make. Because it's like choose your own adventure, and you play as like a teenager.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's fun. I love that stuff.
Yeah, so they would sit on the couch, and I walked by, and they were just like glued to the TV, and they were arguing about what choice to make, like in the middle of dialogue moments. Yeah. And so they wanted to go to Cape Miras and see this lighthouse, and there's this diner in this area in off the coast of Oregon that is in the game, this Two Whales diner or something. So we went to the diner, we went to this lighthouse, and there was...
That's awesome.
Gaming fans had carved and wrote things on the wooden benches in this national park because the game was like so huge. Yeah. So there's Life is Strange references that I don't understand because I haven't played it. and stuff up on the wall at the diner. So it was really, really cool to see the impact of gaming when we go someplace on vacation. I thought that was really, really neat. Let me grab some supers.
Go for it.
Broke Boy, thank you for the other super. Thank you for the 2. He says, I was supposed to go flying past weekend, bad weather. Do you know someone who lets you fly, or you taking like a lesson?
I've seen I've seen the plane. Yeah, no, he sent me pictures in DMs and stuff. He showed me the plane and stuff, and he's not allowed to take off or land, but he's allowed to fly once they're up in the air. So they take off or whatever, and then he's able to fly once he's up there and stuff, and then they land and all that jazz. But yeah, I saw the plane. He showed me all the pictures of the plane that he's got and everything. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Even though I'm terrified of flying, I'm just it's still cool to check out, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty. I'd be that guy. Like, are there any clouds up there?
Yeah,
yeah,
and especially if it's like storming and stuff. That's the last place you want to be if you're not like
you're like
an expert. Even experts
don't
even like doing it.
Sail!
Yeah, I don't want to be doing any of that jazz. I mean, I'm on the plane coming back from LA with Maka, and I'm like, if I knew him a little better, other than just like talking to him while I was on the plane, I would have been hugging his neck and be like, just hold me, Maka 91. Make some more achievement and trophy videos, please. And
whisper those sweet.
He was playing Balatro in his.
He was.
Well, that's how he distracted me, because I told him, I looked him square in the face, right, and I'm like, hey man, because I recognize him obviously from I've known his face before, but like having Maka sitting next to me on the plane coming back to Toronto, and then I looked him square in the face. I'm like, dude, I am scared to death. Of course, I added much more expletives, but I'm like, I am scared to death of flying, and he's like, no problem, man. We'll get through this. And then so like he pulled out his ROG Xbox Ally X, and I pulled out my Switch 2, and I was playing Resident Evil Requiem on my Switch 2, and he was playing Balatro. Is it Balatro or Balantro? Whatever it is, Balatro.
Yeah.
And he's playing that, and then he was playing some other games. So I'm like looking over his shoulder, and he's showing me the ROG Xbox Ally and stuff, and I'm showing the Switch 2, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing over here, and this and that. And then the next thing you knew, we landed in Toronto, and it was fine. So yeah, broke boy. Yeah. Just don't go out there in the storm, dude.
Yeah. I love the ROG Xbox.
To fly, dun, dun, but he's not allowed to land. Dun, dun.
I love that ROG Xbox Ally. I brought it with me on vacation and was playing in the hotel when they were out shopping for a little bit. Played some Fallout 4 and a little bit of Outer Worlds. Yep. It's so great. Feels so
the portable battery is the key to life, folks. You buy one of those things, they're like $100. Well, for like a good one, I have a good one. $100 like portable battery.
That. Like a big chunky
I brought
one?
it on the plane. Well, yeah, it's you saw it. I brought it to LA in case my phone was running low when we were on the road or something. I had it in like a little pouch with my lavalier mics and stuff. And then you just plug that in, and that's it. You've got full charge for like the whole flight home or whatever you're doing, because it's constantly charging the battery. And that battery, if you buy a good one, like I said, they're about $100. You buy a good quality battery, you could charge your phone like 4 times, and there's still like 50% left on the battery. So and it's got 4 plugins and stuff. And even the girl next to me, she was kind of hot though. So like her laptop was dying, and she was looking for a plug. And I gave it to her. I'm like, here, just use it. She goes, what's that? And I'm like, it's a portable battery. I said, it'll charge your laptop while you're using it. She goes, oh my God, thank you.
Oh my God, so why is your number on the other side?
Yeah. Anyways,
why is Yodani Quezada's number on the other side?
Who's Colt Eastwood? Yeah. Give me that. Anyways, yeah, it's awesome. So it's great for like if you got something that drains battery like crazy. Like I'm flying to Germany in September, right? And the Switch 2 ain't gonna last that flight. You know what I mean? So I'm buying that.
I cannot believe you're going to Germany in September when literally the week or 10 days before would be Gamescom.
It's literally like a week before. Yeah. Gamescom is the week before. I'm missing it by a week, but it's already the.
I just told Xbox a couple days ago.
I already got my tickets. I can't change it now. So,
I tried to find. I asked my buddy Game Seeker. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Germany?" He's like, I'm like, hang out. I'll get the hotel. We can go see the sites. Go see Gamescom. And he was like, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go by myself. And I've done this. I went to London and Amsterdam, and I walk around by myself.
So you're planning on. You're thinking about going to Gamescom?
I was.
Or are you going to go?
I just told Xbox a couple days ago because they would fold me into like some of the early access stuff, because I would bet by the time Gamescom comes around, they might let people play something more than Horde Siege on Gears E-Day or something. But
For sure, and Call of Duty as well, right? Because
Yeah,
Call of Duty, the beta is August 21st, so the first beta for Call of Duty is August 21st. So a couple of weeks later, you'll probably get access to much more than what they got.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that sucks, man. But I'm going to be in Munich. I don't know where the Gamescom is. Do you know where it is in Germany? Because I mean, Germany's not exactly like the smallest country.
It's in Cologne.
Oh, it's
I
in
think.
Cologne. Okay.
Yeah, and I was going to ask Red Wolf, but he never leaves his house, so he's like, "Do I have to leave my cats behind?"
Yeah.
But I would love
cats
to go
can survive without us.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, dogs, it's a different story. My dog looks at me every 5 minutes like, "Do I get to eat now? You're going to feed me now, right?" Yeah, I wanted to go with a buddy
ride from Cologne to Munich.
because I was talking to one of the guys at Xbox about it, and he's like, "I'll be there. I'll be in and out of things." I'm like, "No, I mean, I want to go with a buddy who just wants to hang out, go walk downtown, see the sights, go get some food,
Get a stein of beer with some schnitzel and some pretzels.
Schnitzel.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
King
I'll
Fan Man
be
goes
in Munich.
Germany. Yeah, like King Fan Man. What are we gonna go? Is it too late? Let me book it.
This is how,
dude.
Book it now.
Yeah.
This is how we say goodbye in Germany, Dr. Jones. Yes.
All of Mag's
by the way,
German,
I will not be quoting any of that.
All of Mag's German culture comes from the Indiana Jones movies, and after that, it's like there's nothing left.
What are you talking about?
He doesn't know anything else.
Yeah, my brother goes to Germany 3 times a year for business, and he says first hit for him, it's the best country in the world. Yeah. He said it's incredible. He says people just don't realize how amazing it is till you're there. And I'm like, great. Okay, all right. So let's go, man. XSC in Germany, no ticket.
I even told my buddy Game Seeker lives in Edmonton, which is that way from here. I said, I'll pay for your flight to Seattle so we can sit on a 14-hour flight to Germany together and hang out.
Jeez, that's like, brutal. I mean, it's a 6-hour flight for me, so it's not too bad. But 6-hour flight's not too bad. But
maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Hey, and that ties in with Broke Boy's thing about flying. It all came around
all the way to Gamescom. She talks in her sleep, Jacob Tutua. Yeah. Perhaps I should have sent the Marx Brothers.
I thought you were doing the.
Sorry. That's it. Like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is like in my head now.
I was molded by it. I was born.
No, not him. I was. That was a mixture of like Bane and like Sean Connery. Anyways,
it's the sound your mother made last night, Trebek. I unleashed Moo unleashed for the $5 super. Thank you so much. I have a random question. Has anyone heard anything about Light No Fire? It's been a minute. Yeah. I thought that Light No Fire was going to come out in 2024. They showed it. They had 8 minutes of footage of like here and there and up there and down there and in the water and camps and enemies. And I'm like, this game's out next year. Because I think they showed it in 23. So, no, Sean Murray's Light No Fire, which is the world-building, fantasy version of No Man's Sky. I don't know when it's coming out. I keep thinking it's going to be out this year, then this year.
No, it says here, right? It says that it was originally announced at the Game Awards 2023, and the game is expected to be released after 2026, so 2027 and beyond.
Okay, yeah, it has been a long time.
Yeah, so there it is, and very straight. So it's going to be Steam only, looks like, or not Steam, like Steam and Windows. That's it. So just PC only game. That's what it says.
I mean, I don't think you're lying.
That's what it says.
Why
available
would they do that?
on, and it looks like available platforms: Microsoft, Windows, and Steam. It does not say anything about console. I mean, that's what Google's saying. So I don't know.
Okay, AI overview.
But either way, it's 27
Light No Fire. Let's do this for Unleashed. We're going to the source itself. Wish list now on Steam. Great trailer. Yeah, it doesn't say, but it's interesting. If I go to the AI overview, it says, expected by community consensus based on Hello Games, No Man's Sky, yet not officially confirmed. So Mag has got all the answers. So Steam only now.
Yeah, apparently it's just looks like it's just Steam and Windows.
Yeah, that sucks. But
it's unfortunate.
Should be cool though.
Yeah.
We've got Danny Passion. Thank you so much. He's got a couple supers here.
What's up, Danny?
Thank you for 2 $5 super chats. Appreciate you. It says, Halo has been a headache for me right now. I'm locked to my main PC. My progress is not syncing to my laptop. Also, I lost 2 hours of progress.
What?
That sucks. Like quick resume doesn't work. It kicks you back to the main menu, which is the weirdest thing. It's like, you did realize you were making this for the Xbox platform. He also says the problem is forced to use Microsoft Cloud on Steam. Indiana Jones had a similar option, but it gives you the option to manage your saves via Steam Cloud. That sucks. I mean, it's like an 8-hour campaign, losing 2 hours of progress. Like, hopefully you can get through it again, but that sucks. Xbox had so many problems with Halo. It just boggles my mind that they're supposed to get that stuff right. Karen's Raised Potato Salad, thanks for the 5, says Xbox ROG Ally X and Reneo 4 Pro AR glasses every day for my Manhattan commute are the best. This is something my friend told me about, Mag. Using the AR glasses to get a bigger image while you're holding the ROG Ally, because I think it's like a 9-inch screen on the ROG Ally. It's just a little bit too small. And I have pretty strong contacts, so my vision's good, but I want the screen a little bit bigger so I could just feel at ease. Because the screen's
it's a 7-inch screen, dude.
It's 7, yeah.
It's a 7. Like it's a 7-inch screen. That's because I know the Switch 2 is way not way bigger, but it's bigger.
It's 9, right, for the Switch?
Yeah, the Switch 2 is 9, and it's 7. It's 7 inches.
Yeah, it's basically
but you know
this.
how it goes, folks. Every man always adds 2 inches to it. You know how it goes.
That's why I pull on it. So, I have a 25 Ultra phone, and this is about, like, that may seem like a big phone, but when you're playing a game, you know.
Well, when it's got hardware all around it, it makes the screen look smaller. Like, it almost smushes it in, right? Because you got, like, the handles. I call them handlebars because it could be another handles and...
Yeah,
I know, no kidding, right? And then the buttons and and everything else, and it makes the screen almost look smaller. It's kind of weird how that is. Whereas, like, I look at like the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 really just has the Joy-Cons on the end, and the screen is end to end of the hardware, right? And as a result of that, it looks way bigger. And then same thing with the PS Portal, like the PlayStation Portal, the screen looks like, even just from a perception point of view, looks massive. But that's pretty cool. Like, those AR glasses things would actually make the screen look even bigger. That'd be pretty cool, man. The only thing is that would you have those on and then have to like hold it farther away, like as if you were holding a weapon in Avowed, like the big long 2-kilometer arms?
Oh my gosh, the AR glasses fill your vision with the screen.
Oh, cool. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So here's my phone. So my 25 Ultra is almost the exact size because there's some bezel up here or whatever you call it. That's not microphone. Anyway, no, it's great. Jacob Taduo goes, just hold it close to your face. When you're playing a handheld, wrong, by the way. It's also about where you hold it. Like if you kind of put it, on your lap or at your midsection or on your leg or whatever. Right. Like I kind of wish.
Turns out the Switch 2, by the way, is only 7.9-inch screen. I was wrong. I thought it was 9 for some reason.
I thought it was bigger too, yeah.
Sorry. Danny Passion pointed it out, and I'm like, what? I looked it up, and he's right. It's 7.9, but why does it look so much bigger? Because, I mean, I had the Switch 2 and the ROG next to each other on the plane, and it just looked like the perception was that the Switch 2 looked bigger. I don't know, whatever. Who the hell cares? Just have fun playing it.
No, it's great. I actually just wish there was a clip-on magnifier like the old Game Boy had. Why is it doing this?
You remember the Game Boy Light? Remember that? You like it was like a light you put on top of it, and it like had like a little snake thing because like you couldn't see at night because of the dot matrix. Yeah, it was so dope. Yeah, but there was a clip-on like magnifiers, like a lenticular lens, and it would make the screen bigger, but everything was like a fisheye blur bullcrap. I'm like, just give me I don't know. It was funny. I did something today when I was cleaning that Series X board. I had my contacts on, but I'm trying to see the little tiny details to clean it. And I took my glasses and put them over my contacts, and I could see through the sheetrock. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I could see through people's clothes with my contacts and my glasses. So I went out front. And my neighbor, he was getting his mail, and I'm like, "He wears a thong?" It was great. So I'd recommend not doing that. Yeah, don't do that, folks.
Shout out to Red Wolf Renegade. Thanks for the 5, bro. I've been hanging out with him a lot. He cracks me up. Says, Stalker 2's expansion and a 2.0 upgraded release on the 20th. He put a video out about it. It says, do you guys have any interest in returning to see how the game has changed? I do, because I played about 15 hours of Stalker 2, tried to play it like Fallout, and I died a lot. But I really do need to give it another shot. Did you play Stalker 2 at all, Matt?
I did. I did. I did. It wasn't really I wasn't really
Did you get murdered
that much. I was like, yeah. Like, it wasn't really doing much for me. I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. There's so many big games coming. The problem is, and I said this before, it's like, it almost feels like one of those, if someone falls behind, I'm like, leave him. Otherwise, we're all going to die. There's so many games coming out that it's like, if you have even a stutter or a misstep, or even if you trip on your own shoelaces, you're done. You're out of the race, because there's 20 games coming like over the horizon that everybody's
over
looking
3
at,
months.
right? And then the funny thing is, just when you think that that's over, here comes February with 5 massive games or 4 massive games, whatever else in February launching. It's like it's nonstop, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep going. So like I said, you trip on your shoelaces, and you're not only just falling behind in the race, you're out of the race. People will just forget you. They just be like, they look back and they go, "Oh, he fell." Okay, anyways, and then they go to the next game, right? Because
I stopped playing Stalker 2 because I was standing on a wooden crate and 3 boars were like over and over, like, and every time I step off the crate, they would ram me and almost kill me. I'd jump up on the crate, they'd run away, and then over and over, I'm like, this is not fun.
Yeah, I ran in like a sewer, and I was just hiding in the sewer, and there's these dogs outside. I'm like, I don't want to go outside, so I just sat there, and I'm like, let me see how long I could sit here, and I just sat there, and I'm like, this sucks. But
yeah, I mean, it's one of those games you'll hold your
toe out, dead.
I was inside like a little access to a sewer, and there's stairs, and there's like 3 enemies out there, and I'm like,
and then I'm right next to you, and I do this. I cover your mouth with my hand. I go,
yeah, shout out.
Like every movie ever made.
Just got your face right up to my face.
Or like I come from behind you, and you just see my hand grab you, and I go.
Shout out to Happy Bomb for saying, go sub to Red Wolf's channel. It's awesome. He covers the soccer stuff. Go watch a couple of soccer videos and give yourself the opportunity to see if it's something you want to get into. It's like hardcore Fallout meets Metro Exodus. It's awesome. Yeah. Predator reference.
Speaking of games, Mr. Eastwood, public service announcement for everybody out there with Game Pass. Beast of Reincarnation's available now.
What?
Just so you know, it's available. Someone in the chat mentioned it about 20 minutes ago. They said Beast of Reincarnation is live. So I'm like, well, let me check. So, because I have the screen open here, the multiplayer beta for Gears, and I clicked on it, and it's already downloading. Now, when it's done downloading, it's in a QE right now, but when it's done downloading, I'll see if it loads up before the end of XNC. Oh, okay. 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's ready to go. So it's ready to rock.
Well, everyone just left the show to go play it.
It came out early.
So it's a Souls game, right? Like you were talking about how it's very Souls-like.
They said action adventure, which I don't believe them, because it literally looks like a Souls game. Like they always say action adventure, and I'm like, it's a Souls game. Yeah. Now the funny thing is, it's only a 25 gigabyte download.
Okay,
it's a 25 gig game. Meanwhile, the beta for Gears is 62.28 gigs. And this one is only 25.65 gigs for Beast of Reincarnation. That's significantly
Beast Incarnation
smaller.
Instant Breakfast.
Yeah, like I mean, maybe that's a bite-sized game that I'd be into. I have so many AAA games in my backlog already that I haven't even touched, and more coming, that are massive games that are going to be like huge undertakings. Undertakings is that I'm looking at, like, I'd rather play a bite-sized game in between those. And God willing, that's what I hope the next, what the hell is it? The one with the rats. This is the third one with the rats. But
Plague Tale Resonance, which is one of the games that I was not interested in until you showed it and talked about it in your video. And I'm like,
it's a God of War style. And it reminded me of that, Colt. Isn't it funny that it mirrors Senua almost exactly? Whereas 1 and 2 of Plague Tale was very stealth-like. It was strategy, stealth kind of thing. You have to get from A to B, whatever, drag your stupid-ass brother around. Like, get your ass over here, and whatever, and you're dragging him around. And then you get to the third one, and the third one is like a female. Well, I hate to say that because Lao Fei's coming, but it's basically like a female run, sort of like a Rise Son of Rome / God of War, like vibe
some
to
of it does,
and
too.
then right, and you're watching it, and I'm like, oh, so it's basically like a Rise Son of Rome / God of War. I'm like, that's awesome, I'm in. And I'm like, what a departure in the third game. And then it reminded me of Senua. I'm like, look at that. Hellblade 1 and 2 was Hellblade 1 and 2, doing its thing. Sort of that cerebral walking sort of simulator thingy with occasional combat. And then the third one, this is like, hell with it. We're making a Rise Son of Rome / God of War action hack and slash game. And looks like Plague Tale did the exact same thing. So we'll get a bird's eye view of what Senua might end up being like with this game. And that's coming out in 3.5 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And this one is already available now, folks. So after XNC is over, go out, and if you have Xbox Game Pass, go out and get Beast of Reincarnation. Download it now. It is ready to go. So anyway, sorry.
There's so much stuff. Biff Rinaldi says
I'm probably gonna turn it on before bed just to take a look.
Yeah, let me know if it's like one of those where like, well, and I already died. Yeah, and then I'll
play an hour. I mean, we have a 3-hour time difference. I'll play like an hour, and then I will literally message you like as soon as I'm done that 1 hour. I'll be like, all right, I gave you an hour.
How long?
You're 3 hours behind me.
If I'm 3 hours behind you and you send a message, how long does it take for the message to get over there?
Well, Marty, the first thing we got to do is we got to put
we're scoot off in this time frame, Marty. Don't stand there,
Marty.
Tower.
It's the bell tower, Marty. Anyways, I will message you about probably around 11:30 tonight, and I'll let you know how it is.
Wait,
because I'm going to put it right away.
11:30 my time or your time or metric time? Because you guys go by Canadian time, right?
No, Colt, we're on Eastern Standard Time, Canadian time. Listen to this guy.
Well, when I'm like, hey, it's 95 degrees out, my Canadian friends are like, I have no idea what that means. Well, how do you have like a watch?
They don't.
Do you wear two watches? One has like metric and one has imperial?
95 is approximately 35 degrees Celsius, give or take.
Oh,
I know, like the ballparks.
Okay, like
I know the ballparks.
Which park does the Blue Jays play in? Biff Rinaldi says they would never give me a passport. Local shows only for this guy. What'd you do? What'd you do, Richard? Love it.
What'd you do, Richard? Yeah.
DeKent's 33.
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks for the 5, DeKent's. He says, will it be possible when Helix comes out, I download my discs on Series X and then play them on the Helix? We'll talk about that in just a moment. Cool. We'll talk about the digital thing. What were you going to say, speaking of Canadians?
No, it was just funny. Somebody, Noisy Mofo in the chat mentioned, he goes, how'd you like Spider-Man? And I'm like, it wasn't lost on me that, of course, when they write certain scripts or whatever, they're looking to appeal to also the global audience. Because at one point in the movie, and I noticed it right away, is that Punisher says to Peter Parker, he says, the contact is 1 kilometer away. And I'm like, why would an American from New York say 1 kilometer away? And then you realize it's just to appease the global audience, because the global audience doesn't know what the hell a mile is, because they all use kilometers as opposed to miles. The only people who use that really are Americans. So you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. I'm like, why'd the Punisher say kilometers? So it was kind of funny. Sorry. It was just a side note. It was just asked for me in the chat.
At least you didn't say kilometers. I think if you say kilometers, you don't sound very scientific or very
I think you should go to jail. I think you should go to jail if you say kilometers.
Yeah. Kilometers. Yeah. He was 1.1 kilometers. We've got
unless you're British royalty.
We were supposed to be doing the 4 C's of the Asha Sharma challenge.
Well, the second one was actually important. I mean, we could like blow through that quick.
I already deleted it.
Unless you want to move on. Hey.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's just nonsense. Lip circus.
I mean,
how about that? Lip circus.
I mean, she just released the email. It's basically all she's saying overall is that, like, I could sum it up in one sentence. She's going to turn Minecraft into Roblox. That's the plan,
right?
Because it says making Minecraft the world's creator platform. So she's trying to model it after Roblox, because why wouldn't you? I mean, it's not like Minecraft's not making billions of dollars, but they can make more by making it creator friendly and basically try to rival, very similar to like what Pal World did with Pokemon, right? So that kind of idea. And the other one was content, growing great games into global franchises. She already talked about that. Hollywood. She's looking at movies, TV shows, videos, a cross promotion with animation, stuff like that, right? So that's why she met with a lot of the people from Disney was one of them that she met, Amazon, people from Amazon. Netflix was for a different reason. And you know what I mean? But stuff like that. She was looking at that, trying to get cross promotion through Hollywood movies, TV shows, very similar to what Sony's doing. I know they already did that once with Paramount Plus with Halo, but they want to continue doing. And of course, we got Fallout out right now in season 3. And so she wants to continue that. And the last one is extend the worlds that fans love. Basically, it's just focusing on the 5 to 7 big IPs that they got. That's it. There, I summed it up in 2 sentences. That's it.
My phone sounds on. There we go. Yeah, they do need to make Minecraft more like Roblox, where people can just create their own things and they can monetize it with.
Well, you can create games,
it's huge,
like new games, not just okay, here's this world, or I built Hogwarts, in my Minecraft, which is awesome, by the way. I don't know how the hell people do that. It's actually incredibly talented people out there, but create games like Roblox, where you'd be like, okay, now we're doing a hide and seek game in the Minecraft world, or we're gonna do a one hunter and a bunch of hunted, have a PvP whatever multiplayer shooter that someone creates, a basketball game, whatever, all the games that they do in Roblox, and just have people just have them out there and just doing it, and then people just paying small amounts, microtransactions to access this, access that. That's how Roblox does it. And they make billions. That's 100% what she's doing.
I might be wrong, but it feels to me like the actual Mojang team doesn't do anything. Because Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Dungeons 2, Minecraft Legends were all made by outside studios, and then they were liaison through Mojang Studios. So to me, it feels like they don't actually do anything but just maintain the game. So I would like to see them, crank out content and make something. I wouldn't be playing much of it, but
no, I'm not a Minecraft guy, but my kids still dive into it once in a while. But the funny thing is, even my son, who's 14 now, my daughter's 11, and once in a while they still go back to Roblox and they'll play group games with a bunch of their friends online and stuff, and they'll still dive into it. Even though my son is sort of, using the term graduated, now he's playing bigger games. Right now he's playing sports games. He's played they're all ponies, right? So he's got all the PlayStation games, and he's playing all the God of Wars. He already platinumed all those, and so he's his tastes are changing as he gets older. But Roblox still has that communal feel about it, where if he's not playing Call of Duty with his friends or something, or NBA 2K, then he's going back into Roblox, and so it still has that appeal, even for that preteen or early teen age, whatever. And Minecraft goes beyond that, though, so that Minecraft goes into even adulthood. There's a lot of people who've been playing Minecraft forever, and they get right back into it. So that's a huge moneymaker. That's a smart move. Let's see how it plays out.
Let's see how it plays out. Before I started the show, my kids were sitting in the family room watching a very popular streamer play Roblox. And I look at the screen, I'm like, what the crap is that game? It looks like something that was made in 1942.
You know what makes me want to
they love it.
Barf in my mouth? When you're watching these people playing the Roblox games, and my kids watch a YouTuber, and I literally throw up in my mouth and then re-swallow it, is look at it 110 million views. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Colt, what are we doing?
We're in the wrong business.
Hi, Colt, kids. Welcome to another episode of Roblox Insanity. Click, click, click.
And then we have we have our heads superimposed in the corner every once in a while, just going, wow.
Dude. Well, most of the streamers that they watch are in their around 20 or younger years old. But I've seen a couple of streamers that are becoming 40 years old, and they're like, "Hey kids, welcome to Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse." And I'm like,
I know, it'd be a little weird.
Welcome to Uncle's No Pants Basement.
I'd probably stay off camera. But listen, man, when Minecraft starts doing the Roblox thing, you and I are going to do exactly this. I mean, if the Wiggles can do it and they're in their 50s, what the hell are we doing? They
weren't when they were
stage and stuff.
When they were first doing that, they weren't that old. They were probably in their 30s, but yeah.
Is that Roblox?
I think Roblox has enough creepy old guys. Yeah. Let's do a co-stream channel. It's 2 50-year-old white men playing Roblox. Yeah. Cops show up. Colt blocks. Shout out to Mav in the chat. He says Colt blocks. Yeah,
that's right. Colt blocks. Yeah. Actually, it's probably not a good idea for 2 50-year-old dudes to be in Roblox.
Nope.
We probably have the FBI being like, what are you guys doing there? And we're like,
no, the
we're just
FBI
trying to
be
make
like this,
money,
Mag.
sir. It's not what you think. Yeah, like, geez. Yeah.
Right in our face.
Yeah.
What are you streaming? Who's watching you, huh? Yeah, no
yeah,
thanks.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we'll stay away from it. We'll just talk about Xbox and PlayStation.
I'm going to stay
all right,
right
folks?
here
And maybe
where
the
I
occasional
am,
Steam.
where people think I'm an AI voice.
Stay where the adults are.
Yeah,
Never mind. I'll take it all back.
Yeah, I'll stay right here where people think I'm an AI voice until I'm on camera and they're like, that guy ain't real. That mother effer ain't real.
Yeah.
Chris Washington, thanks for the $10 super, man. I appreciate it. He says, hey, what's up, guys? Great show. I've noticed new releases like Rayman and Mortal Shell 2 are only getting a physical release on PS5. Do you think Soros will come to Xbox? I'll ask Mag about the physical thing, but real quick, I'll say, no, PlayStation will never put a game on Xbox ever again. They were going to put Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Lego, and possibly other games on Xbox until they got a sniff that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond were going to put games on PlayStation. They were like, oh, they bent the knee, we're out. They yanked all of their possible ports coming to Xbox, and they've pulled games from PC. So no PlayStation game will come to Xbox. That was in the works, but gone. But Meg, why are Rayman Retold and Mortal Shell 2 getting physical release on PlayStation, but not on Xbox? Do you have an insight?
That is very unusual. That's the first time hearing about it. But if you were to just like put me on the spot with that question, which we just did, my guess is that maybe their metrics told them that like physical Xbox games just sell even less than PlayStation physical games. So they're like, don't even bother. That's the only thing I could think of. Just it's not some fanboy nonsense. It's just metrics. Numbers. They're just like, listen, yeah, just numbers. They're just like, listen, Xbox gamers don't buy as many physical games or whatever, or at least from those companies. And then they're just like, forget it, we're not doing it. So that's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, off the top of my head.
Grandpa Barkley's
and then plus you got to remember a lot of Series S's are out there. Those are all digital, right?
Yeah,
and
there's 15 to 20 million Series S's. Yeah, and of course there's 15 to 30 million digital PS5s, maybe 40 million. I would guess maybe 40 million.
I mean, the PS5
point.
Pros are all digital too, right?
Yep.
I mean, not that many people have a Pro, but all the Pros are digital, and then a lot of the digital came out at launch. I have a digital. I have two digital PS5s. The original digital I got on day one for 2020. Somehow I got the unicorn. Mind you, I had an army of little kids from my work. I'm like, $100, whoever gets me a PS5, cash. And I held up $100. And you know what? Those kids went to work because those kids, 16-year-old dishwashers need money. Yeah, they need money. And I'm like, I put up $100 and I said $100 to whichever one of you kids, because these kids all got buy bots and stuff at home. They're buying like, Nike Jordans and stuff or whatever.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? So they buy all that stuff and I'm like, well, they buy it and they sell it, right? They sell it on eBay or they sell it on Facebook Marketplace for like double the price. And
what
all
are we
that
doing?
So I'm like, I put up $100 and I said, $100
Who wants to buy this
remote.
PS5. This is an LG remote. Right. It works with the mini LG TVs. It's got a brand new set of batteries. My TV.
There you go. I mean, the thing is, I was able to get two Series X's day one, no problem, because I went to GameStop and I already had those, but I couldn't get a PS5, so I just put up $100. So anyways, I got a digital one. That's the only one I could score. So I got a digital one of those, and the PS5 Pro is a digital. Plus, I have a Series S, which is digital. So they probably looked at the numbers and they're like, you know what, it's not worth it. Like even less people, like even if you say, okay, 3% on PlayStation or 4% on PlayStation buy physical, on Xbox it's 0.03 or something. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers, but so they said, forget it. That's the only thing I could think of. But that's surprising. That's the first I heard of that story.
Yeah, it's like 10% are physical on Xbox and 20% are physical on PlayStation. But then there are 2 times as many, and you carry the one, you put the square root of the button, the hypotenuse, and there you go. Like, would you be printing discs for Xbox consoles knowing that no one goes into Walmart and really buys them or orders many physical copies on Amazon? Like, they just sit there. I think it sucks that they say we're not even going to bother making one, but there's a certain amount you want to print that makes sense. And if your numbers doesn't line up, then a smaller game like Mortal Shell 2 and even Rayman Retold.
We talked about that, Colt. We talked about that, dude. When there was the guy, a lot of like the AA video game developers and even like the indie guys. and people on Twitter ask, like, oh, hey, at whatever, they tag, they're like, I really want to buy a physical, and I've seen that several times. They're like, I want to buy a physical copy of fill in the blank or whatever, and the developer will answer them like, we just can't afford it. We can't afford the physical distribution, so it's only digital, and it's available on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. That's it. And even that's a stretch for some people. That's why a lot of games end up only on Steam, because they're not able to actually optimize for Xbox or develop for Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. So you'll find like a lot of these games, AA's and single and and indie games, end up on Steam only because it's actually infinitely cheaper for them than to have to port over to those other to the other platforms. So a lot of it had to do with like cost cutting and stuff like that, right? So physical is out of the equation.
Imagine if you were an indie studio or even a smaller AA studio and you had to look at pressing discs, packaging, freight, shipping, retail, markup, the retail that gets cut for Amazon and Walmart and Target. That could be a considerable chunk of your money. And you're like, well, if we do a digital only release, we can really, maximize our profits. That's what PlayStation's doing, except they're screwing over their fans because they're huge. They're massive. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, thanks for the Australian 2, says, why does Gears E-Day have premium in-game currency? I don't know. If it does, I don't know why, because they said all of the,
I don't understand.
Yeah, all of the unlocks can be unlocked through playing the game. They said they don't have any boost packs. They don't have any cosmetic packs, I think. So there is an in-game currency. I don't know about it, Meg. What can you tell us about why it does? What's it for?
Probably you get the unlocks faster. That's all it is. But they did say, at least they clarified. That's the only thing I could think of. But they did clarify, and they did say that everything can be unlocked old school style through the game itself. Like we used to have in the 360 PS3 days, where you had a game, you can actually play the game and you can unlock everything through game progress. So if you 100% the game, you will unlock all the skins, you'll unlock all the whatever, the new weapons or whatever it's going to happen. And so that is something that got lost over time as people started to monetize that. And, here we are today. But, you can you have a choice now. So, yes, you can actually purchase those. Now, none of it is like pay to win. It's just cosmetic stuff. So none of it is pay to win. They were very clear about that. Coalition did say that as well. They said nothing is pay to win. And they said everything can be unlocked through game progression. It's just a matter of you either. And the cool thing is they also said you could pick what you want. So like you says, find what you want, check out what you want, and then focus on that. And then you can unlock that. So it's not like you have to sit there for like 186,000 hours just to get like a samurai helmet or something stupid like that. So they did say that. So that's actually really cool. And I'm happy about that. I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, the reality is if you see somebody with the gold blazing Marcus Phoenix skin, it's because they either are sweaty or they went and just spent the money. And
sure.
When we talk about pay to win, almost nothing these days, especially when it comes to console games, almost nothing is pay to win. Like it's very, very rare, right? So it really comes down to, and I used to say this years ago when I first started. Yeah, I used to say this years ago.
The landscape, yeah.
When I was first podcasting, if you don't like paid packs and paid cosmetics, don't blame the game developers. Blame all the gamers who buy them in droves. The reason why you can buy and pay to quickly unlock stuff or get cars that you'd have to wait to unlock is because gamers in Force are like shelling out money constantly to get like the coolest stuff instead of waiting for it. And if you don't want to do that and you'd rather grind, then you can do that. And I think it was cool that the Coalition got out in front of it and said, hey, we're not doing that bull crap, because Gears 4 and 5 had a bunch of crap that never affected my gameplay whatsoever, but people hate seeing the story. How many times have you heard, Mag, people go, oh my gosh, the egregious storefront inside of Ubisoft, the Uplay store is just so much crap. They have $20 horses. It's like, you don't have to go to the store and look at that stuff. Like that'll never affect your game. Stop going into the store so you have something to complain about. But if I don't go in the store, I can't make a video and get people angry.
Beast of Reincarnation is open and running. So I just and actually there's a performance mode on the Series S.
On the S, nice.
I turned on the S.
Yeah.
And I said, let me see. So there's a performance mode on the Series S at 60 FPS. You can play on the Series S. So I have that on right now. I'm not playing it right now. I have it on the menu, and I'm like, let me see, and it says cinematic or performance. So I put on performance, I turn it on, and lo and behold, it's a 60 FPS. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I thought that was some information that was interesting. So
yeah, and that reminds me, because in 2022 or 23, Dragon's Dogma 2 came out. I love the game. I think you were new on the show. I can't remember if you were on the show, but I played the footage the whole time.
Yep.
And it was all 30 frames. But that game is like almost 3 years old. It finally got a performance mode on PS5 and Xbox Series X, and it says it targets 50 to 60. And that's Capcom. That's an RE Engine game that it took a long time to get that big open world 60 frames. So Shadows, thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, have you played Gears E-Day on Xbox Series X? How's performance? I heard it's not that great. From who? Yeah, I played it on Series X. It's great. It runs at 60. It looks great. It looks sharp. The visuals could look a little nicer, but I'm assuming that's some beta crap that is being upgraded, or it's dumbed down so that all the net code runs smoothly. But no, I did not have any performance issues on Series X. You just load it up. I don't even think there was an option. There's no like 120 mode or 60 mode. It just loads up. This is the mode you get. We're just trying to test the multiplayer. So that's what I can tell you about Gears E-Day, and everyone will get to experience that on Thursday. Unleashed, thank you so much for the 10. If the console Helix is going to be all digital and be at a high price point, wouldn't we be better off with a PC that has a port for physical copies for the same price point? What PC has a port for physical copies? You can buy a Blu-ray drive and put it in your PC. I heard from some people today that do have one in their PC, but none of your console games are the only discs you can play in it are PC discs that stopped being sold like 15 years ago, or at least 10 years ago. Let me go through your questions here, and Mag, you can jump in as you need, of course.
Sure.
If the Helix is going to be all digital at a high price point, I would love to hear your opinion in US dollars. I am feeling very confident the Helix is targeting a $900 price point, or maybe at the very worst, $999 US dollars. I am going to assume that Xbox doesn't want their console to say 100. They don't want it to be a four-figure console.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like, they want to keep it at a 3-digit as opposed to 4-digit. 4-digit would be threatening for a lot of people. They'd be like, yo. So like people would balk at that. But even just like the psychology of seeing a $999 would actually make it significantly better. Well, even for you guys, for me, it would be significantly
way
more,
over too. Yeah, and tax takes it way over.
True, yeah.
So wouldn't we be better off with a PC? Yeah, I mean, I hear this a lot. I always think it's funny because, like, oh my gosh, consoles are going to be $800 plus. I might as well buy a PC. I'm like, proportionally, gaming PCs have gone up the same leap that consoles have right now. Right now, a Series X is $800. If you want a PC that is around the same power, the power offering of an Xbox, you're going to pay, double for that, but you'll not have to pay for online. So would you be better off playing on a PC? I don't know. It just depends. Like, your Xbox games are going to come forward because Xbox is moving forward with that. But if you want to play on a PC, absolutely do it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you could do that. But I mean, at the same time, you're not getting a PC for $999 or $800 or even the console prices now that can perform at that level for that price. Yeah, you'd be paying a lot more than that. That's the only thing. And the other thing is also, let's face it, there's still a lot of tinkering that goes on with PC and stuff like that. Whereas you could still, I mean, I know people say, they're like, oh no, you can still plug and play. No, it's not exactly quite like that with PC gaming. People like to glorify that as like, oh, it's just a plug and play. It really is not. There's still a lot of tinkering involved in it. You know what I mean? You still got to do a lot of more stuff. So if you're not literate in it, then it's going to be more of an issue to turn some people off. But it's just the way it is. But anyway, I mean, I know PCs. I know how to operate PCs clearly. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, and that's what I do. And I went through literally hundreds of hours of self-training, and watching how-to videos and talking to people and even you and whatever. I learned how to use a PC, and now I'm very adept at it. But before. Now, if I wanted the PC game, I could easily do it, no problem. I just don't want to. Like, it's just still a console guy.
Yeah, and
you won't be able to get a PC for $900 or $800 that will perform at the level of, like, let's say a Helix or a PS5 Pro or a PS6. You're not gonna, or even a Series X. You're not gonna get that performance for anywhere between $700 and $900. Not a chance.
Yeah, and I'm looking at one of my favorite gaming sites. I bought my last two PCs there. I won't say the name, so you don't think I'm endorsing them, but their lowest model is $1,400, but it's a killer bill. It's got a 5070 in it. That GPU is probably 1.5 times more powerful than a Series X or PS5 Pro, but it's only got 16 gigabytes of RAM. You got 12 gigabytes on the GPU. That's $1,400. So that's not double. That's a really super capable PC, but you will have some limitations with on a big PC like that with that much RAM, only 16 gigs. It's like, you're going to have to upgrade that. But
that's what I'm saying. So you're going to be spending in the end more money, dude.
Yeah, and I spent like the past year and a half playing half.
4090 is good, last Razer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, yeah, I've got a 4080 Super. It's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing card. I spent the past year and a half playing most of my games on PC, maybe sometimes 50-50, but after a while, it just kind of got to me. I play on a 65-inch TV, the HDR, I said this before a couple weeks ago, HDR on and off, captures and screenshots not being readily available for me as a content creator with PC games, and there's just a lot of hurdles I was always working with. If I wanted to play, I had to shut down everything. I had to close Photoshop. If I was in the middle of a project, I had to make sure everything was shut down so I could get the game performing normally. When I turn on a console, I just turn it on, and especially with these current consoles, they're amazing. That's why I think the Helix is going to be totally awesome. We've got Cody Lee. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He says, how do you guys think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to land? I think they have to get this right. Wouldn't be surprised if they take their sweet time with it. Are you guys excited?
No, they won't. Sorry, I meant no, they won't. Sweet time. Sweet time ain't no longer a thing. I'm telling you right now, and I've said it before, so people got pissed at me on my show. Not pissed at me, but like they're like, come on, Meg. And I'm like, guys, listen to the words that are coming out of her mouth. You're going to get games rotated in a 3-year cycle, exactly like ABK. She's going to design the Xbox division like ABK. Multiple teams working on a smaller amount of projects in a 3-year cycle, and they're going to be cranking that stuff out like a sausage factory and get it moving. It's the only way. And sweet time ain't no longer it's no longer part of the business plan. I absolutely 100% am telling you that, and that's from the horse's mouth. It ain't happening. So unfortunately, sorry, I came across as angry. I wasn't being angry.
No, I didn't feel like that. No.
I'm just saying, like, yes, they're not going to take their sweet time. So my guess is that she's going to put. Even though she ain't making it, I think she's going to push for next year, no matter what. I agree. I don't think 28. Yeah. I don't think 28's an option anymore. She's going to be like, listen, Todd, come down from the Keebler Elf tree, and you bet this game needs to be out next year. No ifs, ands, or buts, and that's all there is to it.
Otherwise, a launch title for Helix.
Yes, and otherwise, Order 66 is going to keep coming. It's going to keep happening because, I'm just telling you, and I'm not glorifying that or whatever. And I'm not saying that, like, everything. I'm just saying that timing is a factor now because every year you delay, every 6-month delay, every year delay, not only is it costing more, it's also costing momentum. And that's the problem that Xbox has had this entire generation. They have lost literally all their momentum. And in order to gain that back, they have to do it fast, quick, and hard. Pause. All of that. And it has to come at a steady cadence. And not just crap, it has to be steady cadence of quality. So now everybody's kicked into overdrive. They all drank triple espressos, and they got to get their butts going. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And Starfield was nearly Starfield had hardly any bugs. Like, Starfield was the cleanest, most reliable game they've ever made because Phil made them take an extra year back then and delay the game, make sure it was great.
That won't be happening anymore.
Yeah, I think that Elder Scrolls 6 might come in a little more glitchy and buggy in classic fashion. Hit the like button if you guys are enjoying the show. For some reason, it's showing 2 likes, so we are. Oh, that's just an unlike. We have 2 people that didn't like the show. Maybe that's the UI.
No, that's anyway. Good. Hey, downvotes are good too because it actually counts as engagement. So I encourage people on my channel to hit the Yeah, to hit the down like button. I'm like, guys, if you hate me, make sure you hit the down, the downvote button immediately. It also, apparently it actually helps you in a positive way because it actually brings more engagement to the channel and it actually it puts you back in the algorithm. Yeah. I swear it's craziest thing, but it works.
Yeah, Music 72 is right. DDR7 does not exist, but GDDR7 does, and it will be in the Helix.
Okay, yeah.
The Helix and the PS5 will be using GDDR7, which is a memory array, which is, hey, it's great that we have a visual up here. If you look at the chipboard, I know it's not in super focus. Hold on, let me do this. Mag, I'll go to me solo for a second here. If you look at this, this right here, you've got the chip in the middle. Hold on, gosh, how do I do that? Go to the chip in the middle, and this array of black boxes is the memory array. And that is the system and graphics array memory all combined. You see the same thing above in the Scorpio. Yeah, so the back to us. Oh, Mac was off. I went back to you, and you were like...
No, I was just looking at some.
Anyway, yeah, that's what consoles use. So... consoles can get away with having less memory because it's all built into one array, and so yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff there in the next Helix. Anyway, about Elder Scrolls 6, I agree with Meg. The end of 2027, it'll be a launch title 100%. For the Helix. They're not going to let him take forever, and I don't think that Elder Scrolls 6 was going to take forever. And you and I could be wrong, but Jason Schreier's report is it's a couple of years off, but when you do the math, a couple of years, he could only be off by 6 months. If the game comes out at the end of 2027, I don't need to do the math for you. That's a year and a half. And he says a couple of years. So I think that something that maybe Jason Schreier's not hearing is that they're like, Todd, holiday 2027. That's unless something really, really bad happens, that's when we want Elder Scrolls 6. And Xbox has launched the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and the Series X with no tentpole franchise major release game. Unless I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I think the biggest game that Xbox Series X launched with was Gears Tactics like a month later. So they need a launch title.
Yeah, they do. The biggest Series X title that I played at launch was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, same.
that was
the
game.
And Cyberpunk.
And I remember...
And Cyberpunk, yeah.
Was Cyberpunk that close? Because I remember when I turned on Valhalla and it was like 60 FPS and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was the first game I played on the Series X was that one. Because I went from the One X to the Series X.
Yeah.
And then the first PlayStation 5 game of the generation I played was Astro Bot because it came bundled in. Remember that? Digital
I did too.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that was such a great experience to open the PS5 with. I want to answer the other part of his question from Cody about how will Elder Scrolls 6 land, because I saw a short video about a guy playing Skyrim and attacking a dragon, and it reminded me of the moment. It dulls me for a second here, but in Skyrim, like a dragon would come out in the sky, and you'd hoping it would land so you could fight it because you really wanted the dragon scales, the bones, and you wanted the shout power from it. So it was a moment that happened organically that was really super emergent. And Starfield didn't have that. Even Fallout 4 didn't have that. And there was a magic in Skyrim that really no other game really has. So when Cody asked, do you think how is the Elder Scrolls 6 going to land? I really doubt that Elder Scrolls 6 will recapture that magic of exploration and emergent gameplay. I'm hoping that's what they're shooting for, but do they still have those people there, those writers left?
The thing is, though, I think what's going to be more awe-inspiring is that you're going to have, if you buy the Helix or play it on a high-powered PC, you're going to get those like incredible graphics that would be, very immersive in the world or whatever. And you're just looking around. Like I'm playing like AC Black Flag on the Pro because I don't play on PC, and I'm playing that, and like it's just gorgeous. You know what I mean? And I mean, I imagine if you have like a high-powered PC, it probably looks, incredibly good. And so you look at that and you're like, wow. And so like even the fact that, yes, the gameplay loop is addictive and the game is awesome and whatever else, and I love the setting. Something about tropical settings in video games I've always been a big fan of. But you just like, you're there and you're seeing all that and you're just like, holy crap. And you just can't stop looking at it and taking screenshots and whatever else. And I don't think that Elder Scrolls 6 will be any less than that at all. I think it'll be, even above and beyond that. So then you're looking at this and you're just like, wow, this is incredible, so immersive and beautiful and whatever. And then on top of that, if you're lucky enough to be able to afford the new hardware, then that'd be even, you're getting that extra boost of awesomeness. Now, yeah, they have to back it up with the story. The writers have to really make an immersive story that's interesting, an antagonist that's actually one that memorable. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, it has to be memorable. It has to be a Voldemort. It has to be, you know what I mean? It has to be a Sauron. It has to be a whatever, a Darth Vader, like a big time, Thanos, Doctor Doom, whatever. I'm just naming like all these big like antagonists that you're like, okay, this is something that I'm shooting for, I'm looking for. And that's something, by the way, that I was talking about with Fable, with all of the, for example, just to kind of dive into Fable for a second, all the trailers showed no conflict. So it didn't show like some guy coming up and saying, like you watch like well, not everybody watched it, but if you got a chance to see it from Comic-Con, the actual Doctor Doomsday trailer, where like, you see him talking and whatever else, and he's raising the Sentinels out of the ground. He's like, I am boom and whatever. And you're just like, that's awesome. And that's what the Fable trailers are missing. Where's the villain? Who's the villain?
We have Haley Atwell, but she doesn't seem so bad when you see that trailer that we saw at Showcase.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah.
We're just now being introduced to her. Like, she should have been there from the beginning. Like, in the opening moments.
There needs to be a threat.
Yeah, the opening moments of Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It shows Sauron, and he's like forging the ring, and he puts it on his hand, and the fire, right? And like, you're like, holy crap, this guy sucks. And it's the issue that Avowed and Outer Worlds, too, games I absolutely love. Avowed kind of has a memorable protagonist played by Deborah Wilson, but not that great. And Outer Worlds 2 doesn't have a really good antagonist.
Start the trailer dark. Show the first trailer dark. Make it scary right away. It's like, even for example, pulling out Hollywood again. Let's go with Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Literally, the opening of the trailer is not the heroes, not the whatevers. It was the voice, right? All you hear is, there has been an awakening. You know what I mean? And it's like, have you felt it? It's like the dark side, and whatever. And you see like, Kylo Ren's, his lightsaber, whatever. And like, you're introduced immediately to the threat. And you're going, oh crap. Who's going to save us from these guys? So like, I think Elder Scrolls got to come out dark, scary, have a Sauron-like figure being like, like, I am the ruler of this land, or whatever the heck. And then you're like, man, who's going to save us? I'm going to save you. Don't worry, with my character creation. And, and like, I will, I will go in there and save the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, you got to make it scary. Like, not scary, but you have to make the stakes high. And when you make the stakes high, that produces an emotional response from an audience, and that's what connects you to your instinct to do good, right? You're like, I'm going to save them, or who's going to save us from this threat or whatever else. And that's what they got to do. And they got to that all comes down to writing, that comes down to producing, that comes down to editing, especially with trailers. Promotional trailers are hugely important. And that's if Elder Scrolls nails all that, and then of course follows it up with an incredible game, then they're fine. Then it'll land exactly how they think it's going to land. Good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it is super important that you need a handsome Jack. You need a really memorable, great character that wants to ruin the world, and everybody has to do something to save him. But the story in Skyrim, the main characters are not. I don't even like them in Skyrim. I don't like the part where they're like, come with us, we're going up to the whatever to figure out about the dragon shout. Like, and I'm like, stop, let me do my thing. Like, the whole world just felt great. And Magnum's like, why are you so negative? And maybe I'm just, a lot of my favorite studios and my favorite franchises were 10 to 12 years ago. And those people don't work there anymore. Those studios don't have the same writers anymore. And so you can only hope that the next BioShock game, the next Mass Effect, or, I was hoping the next Borderlands, I thought Borderlands 4, I was hoping it would be amazing. It was great.
I didn't like it.
I didn't,
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
it didn't carry the same. But the thing is, though, it's up to the studios. It's up to a studio to be able to, and of course the leaders of those studios, to be able to carry that torch and that the vibe and feeling of what people knew before and carry it with you. For example, once again, Capcom, the masters of being able to carry and basically what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, not evangelize, but anyway, there's a word for it. I can't think of it offhand. But what they have done is that clearly the same people who were working on Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 in the 90s are not the same people at Capcom now. However, every either new Resident Evil game or remake that comes out, they absolutely nail it 100%, and people respond in kind by making them billions of dollars because they buying the products. And look at Requiem this year, broke all records for Resident Evil, right? And so like you're looking at that, and I'm like, that's the way to do it. You're able to carry the spiritual, basically like a spiritual successor of what they had done, the people that came before you, and not lose an ounce of it, and not lose an ounce of the charm, of the wonder, of the action, the adventure, you know what I mean? And the immersiveness of the story, and being able to not only just, you're not trying to recreate what someone else did, you're trying to carry the spirit of what they did with you. And if you could do that, you will continue to be successful for not one generation. You can do it like Capcom for 30 years. You can do it with Mario, that's been doing it for damn near 50 years at this point, or whatever, 45 years. And you know what I mean? And they're able to do that by carrying over the spirit of it. So if Todd Howard's job, being the head of the studio and being the guy who was there, the man who started it all, so to speak, he's got to carry on that spirit and make sure that gets adopted by the new generation of people that are working for him. Not that he just says, yeah, go do whatever. Like, it's not like, you can't do that. He has to be like, no, we have to do it like, do it like this. And that's where you have to mold people. And that's the job of being a leader. Essentially, you're molding these people in order to carry that experience forward. So that's his job. So if he doesn't do that, then that's on him. But I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think I think it'll carry the gravitas that the series has already, brought us over the decades, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So
anyway, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, I hope it lands. I know I'm super excited, and I know it'll be really, really great. It'll be compared to Skyrim forever. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think it'll be fine. So I gotta clear the air with Xbox and Steam, because Jez Corden has done this quite a few times. He's reported what he thinks is going to happen, and it sort of sounds like he's giving people an insight into what's happening next with Xbox. And he said that he could see that Xbox takes Steam off of the console, so they don't have to make the console $1,500. And he sent this article to me once. He posted like, hey, I know you'd like this, and I made a video about it. And in the video, I didn't agree with Jez. I'm like, I don't think the next console is going to be $1,500 or $1,200. I don't think that's going to happen. But he thinks that they would take Steam off so they could funnel all the money directly to Xbox, which I can see working. But the amount of quantity of games you sell on Steam at a 70% profit instead of 100% profit on the Xbox only app, probably the math doesn't work out. So like, yeah, absolutely, Steam will be on there. And then he had to come out and tell everybody who wrote articles about him, I never said Xbox was pulling Steam. He just said, I was just saying, what if they did? Anyway, in that respect,
I think that was in reference to the store, not Helix. I think that was in reference to pulling games off of Steam, which of course was debunked as but he
there's a little bit of both. Yeah, there's a little bit of both.
Yeah, but the Steam store on the Helix, I still don't. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
I understand the reasoning behind it, but
I do too. And I said Xbox just needs to remove the barrier, or just put a barrier in place. Like, when you load up your Helix, you can see all your Steam games, but if you want to go to the store, like, you can't go to the store. You have to go to the Edge browser and launch the Edge browser app, and then go to the Steam, log into Steam through your Edge browser, and then go to the store, or just pick up your phone and buy a game. If they put a little obstacle in there that says, look, you can still buy games, but you can't launch the Steam store directly on the Helix, it could help put a little friction to get people to buy games on Xbox. But the way to get all of these PlayStation gamers, PC gamers, and Xbox gamers moving forward is to make Xbox Helix the everyone console. Like, this thing has 50 PlayStation games. This thing has a bunch of back compat stuff on PC that's boosted. It has all my Xbox games. It has every game, millions of games from PC, and it's in one price. It's cheaper than the Steam machine with better power and better everything. That's a really big proposition. They just have to get over the problem of it's an Xbox, so do people even want to bother with it? But I think they're making great moves, Mag, with Xbox to say, we care about games that you own, and we want you to play your games wherever you want on our device. So I think Steam is going to be available, especially your games, on the Helix. You'll be able to launch them, no problem, and see them like you do now on PC. So in the Xbox app, like I always say this. I show this in my videos. I have a screen recording, Mag, of the Xbox mode where you see all my Xbox games and the Steam games, the little Steam logo in the corner. Like, I'm in the Xbox app looking through their dashboard on PC, and I can see my Steam games and my Ubisoft games. Like, they've made this like, hey, these are yours. Play them right here. So I think that's what's going to happen with Steam.
You know, I'm 50-50 on it, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
My first thought was this. If this console, which I'll get to that in a second. If they were eyeballing this console as something to be their dominant hardware moving forward that they expect tens of millions to sell, like let's say 80 million, 70 million, 60 million, whatever, then Steam would not be there. And the reason why Steam would not be there is because you can't have the sales on Steam, which Microsoft would make literally no money off of, right? So that unless of course it was an Xbox game, but then why would you do that? You're on an Xbox piece of hardware. You could just get it from the Xbox store. So, but if you're going to buy those other games on Steam, then Microsoft makes no money. So what's the point? That was the first thing. And that's what Jez was talking about. He's saying, well, at that point, if you do something like that, then you have to make money off the hardware if you're not making it off the software. Because that's what Steam Machine did. And then you're going to have to charge more for it so you can make your money off of that. That makes sense. Now, however, if this thing is going to be simply from a price point of view, going to be obviously significantly smaller in terms of let's see what prices they charge first. Let's wait for that. But let's just say you're selling significantly less, then I could see Steam on there, because then it's not going to have that much of an impact, and that's why they're focusing on this the cloud access through Xbox Ones and Series consoles that are going to be supported for several, not a few, several years after the Helix launches. And so therefore at that point you've got the Xbox store with the Series consoles that people will be able to, God willing, will be able to afford. Certainly not now, but maybe later on when things quiet down. And then from there, then you have a much smaller community that can actually purchase like a Helix, let's say, and then say, okay, well, we're going to do that. Well, that's such a much smaller, more minute thing. Well, then you would have access to Steam from that point, because that would be no different than someone who owns a PC with the Xbox app, as you just mentioned, right? So it's just an extension of that, but it would just be a more plug-and-play version of a PC that most PC gamers have right now, as you just mentioned. You could get the Xbox app on there, and you got Steam right there as well. So, but if it was going to have a massive impact on their ecosystem, or you know what I mean, then they would probably think twice about Steam. But because I think Helix is going to be considerably smaller in terms of hardware sales, it's going to be for a more discerning audience, ones that are willing to dish out more money for that kind of power and whatever else and access. Then I don't think they're worried about that in the long run as a threat, because they know that the majority of their access points will not be Helix. The access points of the majority will be through Series consoles still, cloud through Xbox One, and the current PC owners as it stands.
Yeah.
That's my only thought. So that's why I go 50-50. We'll see how it goes. It all boils down to the price of that Helix, dude. It all boils down to the power and price of that Helix, and we're not going to find that out for another year, so there's no point.
No, we won't know. And
you know what I mean? If you're worrying about it.
Jacob Bosman in the chat says, any word on the new Xbox price? You mean
no?
Any word on the current Series X price hike? We said it sucks. This $800 is way too much, but I keep telling people this over and over. Just because it's a next generation console, just because the PS6 is coming out next year, and the Xbox Helix does not mean that the price is going to go up 1.5 to 2 times more because it's now a brand new shiny console. The most you'll see the consoles jump to next generation is a $100 price jump. And that is really what we've seen through all of the history of consoles. Like the 360 and the PS3, well, not the PS3. 360 was a $300 console. I think it was $400 with everything. The next generation, it jumped up to a $400 console. Xbox had to decouple the Kinect, but that was a $400 Xbox One after the Kinect was out of there. And then you get into the Xbox One X, that went to $500, and then the Series X was $500. You see where I'm going? I'll tell you this: reason why
there's an unprecedented situation happening right now. This situation happening right now was not happening during all of those other console launches. So you're right, there was a natural progression up at that point. But when even Asha Sharma herself says, by the way, by 2027, the components are going to be 5 times the price it was from 2025. So, this has never happened before. So we're going to be facing an unprecedented situation that I don't see them jumping $100. However, maybe, sorry, then say your thing. Maybe they're doing this price hike now to get people sort of climatized to the idea of $800 to $1,000 for a console.
Yes.
And they're doing that now so that when they charge $900, you're like, oh, well, that's what they were charging for the Series X. That's actually a steal. So it's kind of like gas prices. You know what I mean? Like they're like, they jack it to $200, and then all of a sudden it goes down to $1.50. And then you're like, oh, well, that's a steal. I'm like, no, it's not. I was paying 80 cents a month ago. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to say. We are 5 years into the generation. The $500 console is now $800 because of the RAM and storage prices have increased. The reason why they're continuing to hike the price of the consoles now is because they need to be in line with next generation. People will sit here and tell me over and over that the consoles are going to be double the price because it's a brand new device and it's going to be more expensive. Look how expensive it is now. Now they're going to charge us $1,200, $1,500. They are bringing current consoles up to the price so that they can make a $100 leap in 2027. So there's 2 things. One of 2 things is going to happen. Middle of next year, they're going to hike the Series X to $900, or they're going to keep it at $800. The other second one, keep it at $800, and when 2027 hits, Helix will be $900, and the Series X will still be at $800. They are stair-stepping along with the RAM increase. And even Jez Corden has said, we haven't even hit the ceiling yet. So it's very likely that the PlayStation will see another price hike. Xbox will be $100 more than PlayStation because they suck and they can't sell consoles. And Helix will be, and I will stick with this. I've done so many videos about the cost of the One X, the cost of the Series X, and I even way back in 2019, 2020, and 2017, I had so many people in comment sections. No way that thing's going to be $800. I remember the Scorpio videos. Looking at those specs, no way that thing is under $800. What was it? $500. The stair step.
So they're literally conditioning people. Like
it's not a condition. They're not conditioning. They are stair stepping consoles.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
Because Mag, like when I said earlier, the Series X is a 5-year-old console. It's got 5-year-old hardware in it. They are bringing it up to what it should cost with the rising cost of hardware. All those components have been more expensive.
Okay, yeah.
So now that console, instead of getting a price drop, like instead of dropping it down $100, which they didn't even do last generation, they are keeping it in pace with the hardware increase. So the other thing I want to say, and I want you guys to remember this. The idea is for next generation to cost the same or $100 more than last generation did at launch. But that's what not at launch, but at its current price point. Because normally, right now, if we didn't have RAM increases, the Series X would be $499 right now, and then it would go on sale on a holiday and come back. So the current situation would mean that if the Series X was still $500, Helix would be $600, not $1,200. I want you to remember those things that I said. They're stair-stepping it, increase with the hardware, so that next generation could stay at about the current market price. So don't listen to people when they're telling you PS6 is going to be $1,200, Helix is going to be $1,500. We already know. When I say price revealed in my video titles and people get mad, The current market is already telling you exactly what next generation will be.
What it's going to be. Yeah, right.
Okay. And so I made multiple videos back in 2017, and I stood on principle that the Xbox One X would come out at $500. And I cannot tell you how many times I'm repeating myself, no way that thing is under $800. And they were all wrong. So now 800 is the standard. So if someone's going to be like, there's no way that Helix ain't $800, I'm like, you're right. Yeah. Son of Asgard says, clip this. Yeah, absolutely clip this. I like I said in the beginning of the show, $800 to $999. That's it. I do not think it's going to be over $1,000 unless some other major crisis happens and they kick the Series X up to $1,000. I just don't see it happening. And
well, I mean,
you're not going to sell a console. The Steam machine, sorry, Meg, the Steam machine is not going to sell. It's going to do horrible. It is overpriced and underpowered.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to agree. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. From that point of view, they're doing that is the wise thing to do. But I'm also going to add on to that. In a way, mentally, you are still preparing people and sort of, you know what I mean, conditioning them to see that price. Though I'm saying that conditioning is like not saying, well, we're manipulating the marketplace. What I'm saying is you're conditioning people to see that number so that when you see a number even slightly above, it's not so jarring, is what I'm getting at.
Sure.
So I'm saying that's all I'm trying to say. So even from a psychological point of view, if you keep seeing it over and over and over again, it becomes part of the regular conversation that's the go-to price now, so that when that next gen comes, even from their part, if they're doing it from a marketplace or economic point of view, then even from a psychological point of view, people are already prepared for it a year and a half before it drops, right? So it's already there. So it's not like, well, we went from 300 to 1,000. That would be sticker shock, and that is what drives customers away, because then all of a sudden you've rattled their expectations, and then that's a little bit of a different story. So
and it scares people away.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's you're scaring people away by doing that. So like by having that there, even like I said, from your point of view, when saying the economic point of view, that works for them, and then you're stair stepping it. But at the same time, you're also conditioning customers to see the price of $800 and $900, which it is right now. $800 for a Series X and $900 for a PS5 Pro, right? Yeah. So you see those two numbers out there, right? For those two consoles, particularly. I know see people putting in the chat like, whatever, $600 for a Series S and all that. I see all that, but I'm saying if you do that, but then you see, if it lands somewhere in between all that, people be like, oh, well, it's, okay, cool. It's the same as what we were doing, and it's significantly more powerful. That seems like a better buy. And so people would adopt that at that point.
Yeah, and I think
now the thing is, I have a question. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say that people will look at the Helix more like, should I get a PC? Should I get a Steam machine? And then the price.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
PS Vet Gaming thanks for the 2.
He goes, Cole, the same power, dude. It'd be like $2,000. What are we talking about?
Yeah, and I was looking at, while we were talking earlier, I started looking at PC building prices have come down quite a bit. I was actually surprised. I learned that about 12 minutes ago. PC Vet Gaming thanks for 2. He goes, Cole, come on, man. $999 is $1,000. I know. The point I'm trying to make was, I don't think Xbox wants to go over the 4-digit. And Mag and I were saying that. And I said earlier that with tax, you're well over $1,000. But the point I'm making is people aren't saying 1,000 to me that I'm arguing. I'm not arguing with $1,000 people. I'm arguing with the people who are saying $1,200, $1,500 over and over. And they may only be off by a few $100, but like I'm going to stand on my principle that I do not think it's going to be well over 12 or well over 1,000 like people are saying. What were you going to say? Now, sorry, you remember?
No, I was going to say this one thing to wrap that up is that I just like to put this out there that I am not condoning any of these prices, because I think we should take all the AI farms and burn them to the ground. Well, not us. Someone else do it so they can go to jail. I'll just watch from TV. But it can't be lost on anybody that we're not trying to normalize the situation. At least I'm not. I certainly don't want to normalize this and be like, this is great. It's not great. And there, you know what I mean? And it's, we also have to remember that I was about to say something really nasty. I'll save that for Magcast. These people are making trillions of dollars and making us leaving us to suffer. And as a result of that, don't forget that either. So when we're talking about it, we're talking it from a business point of view, not from a person. Like, at least from my end, I don't condone it at all. And I'm like, I am super pissed about it, and everybody else should be too, because everything keeps going up so that a very small amount of people can make trillions of dollars, and all these corporations or whatever else. It's nonsense. It's ridiculous, and we're made to suffer as a result of it. And they couldn't care less about us. And as a result of that, remember that. And that's something that I just wanted to put out there, because it really does upset me that we're made, the guys who are making average salaries, even good salaries, whatever else, we're the ones made to suffer, not the pricks in their yachts and everything else, while they're basically robbing the world of all its components and basically all of our joy and all of the of course all the technology that they showed us that now we want, phones and consoles and PCs and smart houses and and all our cool cars with all the new gadgets in them and stuff like that and whatever. And you know what I mean? And it's like, now you've introduced all this stuff to us. Now they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, now we're going to start charging you 5 times the price for it while we make trillions. Like, that's where I have a problem. But either way, we're just talking from an economic point of view as to why it is what it's going to be. I see there's another super chat, Colt, that we kind of skipped over.
Yeah, I'll get back to it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I wanted to add on to what you said, that that I'm trying to give you guys a very realistic target of what to expect. Obviously, there's nobody here who thinks that the next Helix is going to be $700 or $600, but if you want to feel like there's a super I'll get in a second about, if you want to feel like it's $1,200 or $1,500, just so you can hope that the $999, you're like, oh, thank goodness, all this time I thought it was $1,500. I do that sometimes, but I'm giving you my best educated understanding that I think it's going to be under $1,000 or it's going to be around $900. Game Seeker, thanks for the Canadian 5, says, Mag, will Mark Carney negotiate tariffs on the PS5 or the PS6?
Listen, man, when it comes to Kami Carney, when it comes to the PS6 and whatever he's doing over there, okay, let me tell you something. He's got bigger things to worry about right now, like Canada revolting against itself, Alberta trying to leave, and everything else. He can't worry about the PlayStation 6 right now. He's got to worry about that. He's got to worry about his country falling apart and everybody trying to run to Texas, basically, and then trying to get away from the man. So, yeah, he's got to worry about that before he worries about a PS6. Every time I say Kami Carney, there's always 2 people in the chat that lose their effing minds every time.
Talk about politics. What about Mark Cerny, Mag? Well, Mark Cerny
is a gem of a human being.
He is.
And when I had my talk with him on Saturday at the Days of Play, that man is such a pleasure to talk to, and he's so polite and like wicked smart and just such a cool dude, man. He's awesome. But Mark Cerny is awesome.
And Mark Cerny slipped a schematic for the PS6 into Mag's back pocket so he could fly it home.
He did. I have it right here.
Mag's he's turning it up.
It's on
upside down.
It's on this cocktail napkin. See, look right there, folks. That's the PS6 schematics right on this cocktail napkin. He wrote it down. Hey, no, he's a super cool dude, man. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I told him, I said,
Brad Ward Fight's gonna pause that part and zoom in and say, "Here's the PS6 specs as leaked by Mag from Mark Cerny's napkin."
Yeah. I mean, it was so funny because I think I kind of startled him because he was right next to me and he had a tea, right? It was like 9:00 in the morning or something, or 9:30 in the morning. And he had this tea with his little tea bag hanging out the side or whatever.
He's awesome.
And he's just hanging there. And I'm like, Mark! And I said it so loud because I didn't realize he was standing next to me. Also, I didn't realize that he's a giraffe, by the way. So I didn't notice that. The man is a giraffe, but such a cool dude. He's awesome. But yeah. Oh, but who was in the chat? Someone said it about where the hell did I see it? It was unrelated to this. Oh, Trevor, he says he got Ubisoft Plus for 1 month and he's installing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Resented to try it out, or want to see how it is. Dude, you are going to love it. So far, awesome. I can tell you this. Let me tell you something. As it stands right now, my tie for Game of the Year so far is Pragmata.
Oh, yeah.
And Assassin's Creed Black Flag are tied for Game of the Year before the fall comes. I have to
even Resident Evil Requiem was this year, bro.
Yeah, Resident Evil Requiem was this year, and that game was incredible. I played it 8 times, and obviously 100%. That's what I do. So I did that, played it 8 times, and I love it. Now I'm replaying it on the Switch 2, excuse me, and loving it. But something about Pragmata was just special and
satisfying.
Right now,
The combat was so satisfying.
It's something about that game that just grabbed me and hasn't let go. And I gotta say, man, it's awesome. So far right now, Black Flag and Pragmata are my games of the year so far.
That was Pragmata was my comeback to Xbox moment to play more on console. I've been playing Crimson Desert on PC and a bunch of stuff before that. And then Game Seeker, who I game share with, he's like, "Oh, I bought Pragmata, give it a try." And I was
cool.
like,
yeah.
"Oh gosh, being on console is so much more comfortable in every way, even though I'm in the same location." But yeah, shout out to him. We got X to clap. Thank you so much for the 5. He says, "What is everyone's cutoff price to not buy the Helix?" This is a great question. He says, "I'm basically at 1,200. That's his cutoff. Would you also want to have expandable RAM or storage to cut cost?" Well, you can't do expandable RAM. That's like, look back there. It's soldered in, but you can definitely expand the storage. I think Mag and I, we kind of made some people mad, but we kind of agreed, like, give us less storage. Let us choose when we want to upgrade. So I would definitely, my vote is let me expand the storage if I want to spend more money down the road. What about you, Mag?
Nah, $1,200 is a no. That's a no. I'll stick with my Series X.
What's your
$1,200?
Yeah, what's your cutoff?
My cutoff is somewhere between 900 and 1,000. Even 1,000's pushing it a bit because of the exchange. And even if it's a simple exchange, 900 is 1,264 without tax and 1,264 plus tax for me in my province. That's $1,400. So that is still somewhat manageable, but $1,200 is an absolute no. There's no Helix in this house for that price, because that works out with conversion and with tax, works out to $1,900 for me. That's a no.
Camilo
I'm not
Salazar,
spending $2,000 on a friggin' Xbox. Not a chance. I'll have a Series X, which will be just fine for several years, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, and the games still do look great. Like I give Paris that one like all day. Like there's a lot of heavy use of upscale, but the games do look great on current consoles, and they will for a while. Camilo Salazar in the chat says $1,000 and 1 penny is my limit on the Helix. He's doing the old
900 is
thing.
the price is right. 900 is actually somewhat manageable for me because that's still $1,400.
Yep.
So $1,400, and that's tax in. That's tax in and everything. That is somewhat more manageable. I'm okay with that because I paid $1,150 with tax in and everything else and conversion for the PS5 Pro. So an extra couple of $100 is actually manageable, and the reason why is because if the Helix does stay at $900 US, I'm trading in 2 Series X's and a Series S. And if I'm not trading them in, then I'm selling them on Facebook Marketplace. I could sell them for $300 a piece easy and still walk away with at least anywhere between $800 and $900 on private sales for those things, and I put it towards a Helix. I buy it for $500 Canadian. Done. But $1,900, I wouldn't buy it out of principle. I'm like, no. Like, even if I got $1,000 in trade-in or whatever in private sales of my current consoles, I'm not spending another $900. That is insane. That I would draw the line there. So
yeah, everybody has their limits, but.
That's my
Alvaro
limit.
Martin, thank you for the 2.
1,200 US is my limit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Alvaro Martin, thanks for the 2. He says, the recent price news made me love my Series X more. I put out a post the other day, the day that the prices went up, and I said, if you got your console when it first launched at $300 to $500, be super grateful because it's ridiculous. It's really awful. I bought 3 Series S's in this house at $300. Yeah. And now they're like $650. It is such a ripoff. Ridiculous.
Crazy,
Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, thanks for the 5. Depending on cloud tests, cloud could be an option via series consoles if Helix is too expensive. It absolutely.
That's what we're saying. That's why they're doing the testing now. That's what Matthew Ball's doing. And then not only that, Grandpa Barbecue, by the way, how you doing, buddy? Is that also they're working on that cloud access point for the Xbox Ones. Never mind the Xbox Series consoles. They're working on the Xbox Ones because they're realizing people aren't even leaving that ecosystem, which is insane.
Yeah.
But it's not that it's insane. I mean, there are people who put more priority on gaming than others, obviously, hence the difference between a hardcore and a casual. We already know that. But on top of that, there are also a group of people out there, a significant group of people out there who simply cannot justify spending what we're spending on stuff now. Like, never mind, there are people who won't even spend $70 for a game, never mind $800 for a bloody console. They're not going to do it. And as a result of them not doing it, that they've got to meet the customer. And so what they're going to do is they could still offer you the Ferrari, but you could still buy a 2002, whatever. A 2002 Toyota Camry. You know what I mean? So they have the options, and it'll still get you from A to B and it'll work, but it's just that's what they're going to do, because they're going to have to meet the customer, because they obviously aren't. It's not lost on these people that most people cannot afford or are not willing to justify spending that much money on a hobby that they don't find as important as we do.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to ask me what my cutoff price is for Helix, my number would be way higher than the average person, because I need it. I need to have this console to make content. I love playing my games. Like, I play mostly everything on the Xbox platform. So yeah, I mean, it's so difficult, and hopefully, it's such a difficult economy out there. And as long as I still had my job, it's like, it's so, yeah, you don't need, yes, I do. Do I need Taco Bell after Ecstasy podcast? Huh, Mag? Do I need it? Like,
you don't
I've been
need
eating
it, but
well.
you're gonna do it. You're going to do it anyway.
I've been working out and taking care of my
it.
body. Do I need Taco Bell? Yes. Well, need is a very special word.
It was my parents' 52nd wedding anniversary today, and we were at their house today because it's a holiday Monday here in Canada. So we did a barbecue today instead of Sunday. And I ate 3 giant cannolis after I ate barbecue today, okay? And I don't eat sweets much anymore. So I ate 3 giant cannolis and I didn't care. And I also had a small slice of apple pie, and I had a tiny bit of peach cobbler and some ice cream, and I don't care. So go ahead and eat the Taco Bell. I'm down to it. Listen, man, I went from 200. I'm down to 182 now. So I'm good and shredded. So, like, we're all good, dude. Go ahead and eat the Taco Bell. You can do it once in a while. I know, Tegan. Holy cannoli. That was from,
holy cannoli.
That was from Saturday Night Live. What's his name? Chris Farley.
I forgot to say.
Ravioli? Holy cannoli.
Yes, sir. That's the right amount of pepper.
Don't you remember that? Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler was the husband. Please, God, give me cancer. Yeah.
yeah. The old couple sitting in the chair. I forgot to say, we drove by the Goonies house in Astoria, or Washington.
You what? Sorry, whose house?
The Goonies house in Astoria.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you do the truffle shuffle in front of the house?
Like I did. Yeah, I pulled up the Taco Bell gut and wiggled it in front of the. Yeah. They have a big sign that says, "Hey, you guys, please park and walk up to the house," because there's so much traffic from all the people that go see the Goonies house. But I'm a Gen Xer.
I would imagine people live there, right?
Yeah. Can
you imagine buying that house? Like, you're sitting there like, oh my God.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Every time you go outside, there's like 20 people staring at your house.
The Christmas Story house, somebody bought it and turned it into like a tourist museum because people couldn't live there.
No, you couldn't live there. Yeah. It was impossipeople. Or because you just have people constantly going there.
What's the other iconic house is the Home Alone house. Like, people can't. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's gorgeous. Anyway, we got Green Pulse Wire. Thank you so much for the 5. Says,
what's up, Green?
I think yeah. What's up, Green? Sorry, I'm tired. You guys are amazing. I think the Series X will get an FSR 4.1 upgrade. No, it won't. I reported on that in a video and I was wrong. 4.1 FSR is only available with an NPU, which only the PS5 Pro has. It's a little neural processing unit on it. The Helix will have it. I've got the Series S for $250 at Walmart in 2023. Yeah, I remember when they dropped it so low. Yeah,
I know. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jeez, man. $1.99.
Yeah. But hopefully everything evens out. That's the show, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Mag, thank you so much for a really great discussion.
That was a great show, man. Yeah, that was a great show. We had a lot of talk
Check out my video. I've got a video that I put out this morning about the Xbox versus PS6 for next generation. and a lot of it talks about Xbox actually giving a living crap about your games library, and how PlayStation absolutely doesn't. It's insane. But a really cool video. I show some cool stuff about what the tech will do. Thank you guys for showing that, checking that out. We appreciate it. The Amityville house. No, thank you. We'll not be visiting that. Mag, tell everybody what you got going on, what to check out on the Mag show this week. Thanks,
well, we got Magcast tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. We'll be doing that. And of course, back on schedule, at least for a couple of weeks. And then I'm off again on vacation. That's when I go for the family reunion once a year. So I will not be on XNC 2 weeks tonight. So next week I'll be here. The week after I'm out of the city again. So, and then that should be it for the rest of the year, I would imagine, with all the traveling in the summer. So yes, Magcast tomorrow night. Thursday, we will be streaming Gears of War on the channel. Friday, we will be streaming Gears of War again on the channel. So we'll be doing 2 days of Gears on the channel live. Of course, anybody can jump in. Any of the maggots, top tier maggots, obviously get first dibs. And then from there, we're going to play some games together, have some fun, play some horde mode, and do whatever. So it's going to be great. And then throughout the week, a couple of videos I will drop during the week, depending on the news and depending on what I feel newsworthy that we can actually talk about. So I'll be doing some of that as well. Channel's going well. Numbers are going up. It's been going well. So I'm really happy about that. And thank you guys all for the support, man. It's amazing. So, Tegan, I'm not doing a family reunion at the Olive Garden. But anyways, love you guys, man. And you got one more super chat. And have a great night. We'll see you guys all tomorrow for Magcast. And if not, if you don't like me, then I'll see you on XNC next week.
And if you don't like me, don't watch me on XNC either. Yeah. The clap. Thanks for the Tugos. Amazing show, guys. And mods, thank you so much to you, Donna Kazada and Happy Bomb, for holding down the fort every single week. You guys are awesome. You guys keep it clean and fairly decent in the chat. And we appreciate you guys. If you want to have use a little bit of colorful language in the chat, just censor it a little bit, use some substitute words, and everything goes through. We appreciate it. We have quite a wide variety of people who watch the show. Udana Kazada comes in with it too and says, "Gooners never say die," or whatever the Lost Boys said.
Nice.
Lost Boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anyway, thank you guys so much.
Michael.
We're going to get out of here. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit a thumbs down for Mag. And we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
See you guys all. Bye now.
Later.